Futures pointing to a relatively flat open coming up this morning as we await the Fed decision this afternoon at 2 p.m. We'll get an interest rate decision and also the statement to come from the Fed. Many analysts looking for any kind of indication on when the tapering will start for the Fed's bond buying program, the current bond buying program that everyone is expecting to be wrapped up in the coming months. So we'll have a look at the Fed decision at 2. Markets flat, as we said, heading into the Fed decision. Earnings, meanwhile, remain in focus. Lyft, big move. Aftermarket yesterday. We'll have a look at Lyft again this morning. Uber coming up tomorrow, but Lyft beating right across the board. Good report for them. Bed Bath & Beyond shares making moves here in the pre-market after announcing a deal with Kroger for an online marketplace. We'll talk about Bed Bath & Beyond. And all the other meme stocks seem to have awoken after that announcement as well. Markets coming off a third straight record close yesterday. All three U.S. markets in record high territory at the end of the day yesterday. It wasn't a huge move, but decent week so far for U.S. equities. We got the ADP private payrolls number this morning, an increase of about 400,000 over what was expected. Remember, non-farm payrolls coming up Friday morning at 8:30. It's Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. As I mentioned, pretty flat right across the board to start things off. S&P about 0.12 to the downside. The Dow and the NASDAQ, same story. Nothing big as everyone awaits the Fed coming up this afternoon. Crude oil, big move to the downside there, 2.25% lower. Gas prices certainly don't reflect that move this morning. Bitcoin and Ethereum not doing a heck of a lot to start things off as well. We made it to the middle of the week, guys. It's going to be an interesting one. Again, Fed to come this afternoon. We were sitting here, I want to say about 6 weeks ago was the last Fed decision, I think. Anticipating it would be a little bit bigger of a deal than it actually ended up being. But today might be the one that actually brings some movement in the overall market.
To taper or not to taper. The taper is coming. It's just, we already know, and the market's priced in that they're going to start the tapering, November, December, and then it will take them till like mid next year or whatever. I think it's like June or July. At which point, the market seems to think that you're going to get possibly rate increases by mid next year, and then a couple towards the end of the year. But who knows? I mean, they're still saying at the end of the year, so next year before rate hikes overall. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there. I kind of feel like you'd have to have a walk back of some of their language with regards to inflation to really move the markets. This is Oxygen, by the way. Oxygen got that WHO approval, so did this thing that it did, like 16 to 19, and then that 16 level from the aftermarket yesterday came back in, so I'm scalping it here. But there's a lot to look at today. I mean, forget about the fact that you had Bed Bath & Beyond going, yesterday. Oh, sorry, aftermarket. With Zillow going, aftermarket, ATVI, and then you had Avis from yesterday, and let alone U1 in the news again for the wrong reasons, because usually it was a meme stock. Today, they were on the wrong side of a casino vote and getting absolutely pummeled. So I kind of thought that maybe Zillow would be the worst stock today. U1 said, hold my beer.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some stocks that are going to be down like 100%, some of these random stocks
it's not
too,
very
at
good.
some point.
I shouldn't say that.
Well, you can't be down 100%, I guess, but close enough to that. Look, we'll, talking about what we expect from the Fed, it's been 7 straight up days here for the NASDAQ. I mean, I thought it was 7 straight, but it looks like we have a red little tick in there, but I still think that's an update and we made a mistake. But the NASDAQ straight to the upside, we're breaking all-time highs every single day now. It's been 4 straight days that we've come in and talked about brand new all-time highs to open the day. So, I mean, do we expect something to happen? Sure, why not? I mean, even if they raised rates or something dramatic happened, that I think the market can hold it at this point. So let's just wait to see. I mean, can it hold it? I mean, we'd be going down, but we're already up something like, what is it, 27% this year so far in January. So year to date. I don't know. I'm not too scared about any kind of a Fed intervention here. So we'll wait to see what happens, man. I mean, I think that any move down today is going to be a buying opportunity. So, maybe you don't buy it today, maybe you don't buy it tomorrow, but I think by the time Friday comes around, the market will sort of figure out what the Fed means. We'll figure out what the dot plot's all about. There's a whole bunch of things happening here today, and that's going to be coming at 2 p.m. So we're excited for that. We'll wait for that. So the trading will pretty much cease to exist probably 11 till 2 or so. That not just because that's when our memes and movers show is.
Well, actually, no. These meme stocks will go.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be a lot of things happening. AMC today is bumping. I've been tweeting all about Zillow. We talked about, I put a negative stamp on that thing yesterday in the Power Hour. Really glad that that's turned out well for hopefully a lot of you. And let's just get to some trading.
Oh, by the way, I put it in the chat that someone left a window open. That's why I keep rubbing my hands. It's freezing cold.
Not
Karen Jellyhead. It was not Valeria. It was Greg. It was not Valeria.
Yeah, it's not someone.
It was Greg.
Definitely
Larry don't care about no window.
Greg left the window open and it's freezing cold.
So maybe we should announce that, because if he keeps doing that, someone's going to break in at some point.
I want your opinion on something, guys. I was reading an article last night that was very interesting. Sean, you were talking about how amazing of a year it's been for this market. Did you know that October, the month of October, was the best October in 6 years? Very quietly, it didn't seem like it was that big of a month, but the S&P up 7+%. I believe the NASDAQ was 6.8%. It didn't feel like that great of a month, but best October in 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 years isn't that. It's not a huge sample.
I mean,
so I guess
said
that's not very surprising. I guess.
You remember, regardless of the market. I mean, I thought I was going to go down even further. I was saying you got to buy in the first week in October. So that's an absolutely great stat to hear there. And I hope we did buy, and we've been buying. The only thing that's been a little bit of a step up was been PayPal. And we noticed that just keeps on going down. Want to hear my thesis on Zed? I mean, I've been talking about Zillow for a very, very long, well, not very long time, but yesterday, Philippe, you can go back and see. I mean, I called some of this, the minute they were selling homes, 7,000 homes right before the report, and they come out and talk more about that. Well, we'll get to Zillow soon. But yeah, anyways, great to bring that up, Brendan. I mean, what a fantastic month October has been. And I was just telling Randy here, who's here right here, that I did trim some Ford. I mean, I've been trimming some Ford. I've been trimming some of the positions right now just to raise some cash, and we'll see where it goes. Want to get more money into crypto and any dips as well. Want to buy some of those names. So, I mean, we're trying to, I'm just looking out here at the board, trying to get back into some banks. I did sell JPM way too early. AMC's ripping and rolling. We'll see if we can get that back down into the mid-30s. I think that's a good buying opportunity as well. Uber, maybe a buying, I'm not in Uber. That might be a buying opportunity off these Lyft numbers. So we'll talk all about this, man. I mean, it's good to be a little bit in cash, but we're still very, very small. But, we do have some dry powder.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how November plays out. Valeria is getting very impatient. Let's not keep her waiting. Good morning, Miss V.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the show. And of course, please smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Yeah, let's indeed, guys. Lots to talk about this morning as we head towards the open. Under an hour to go. Here's the big one. To kick things off, BBBY, a lot of B's in Bed Bath & Beyond. 70% move aftermarket. We're up again this morning, back into September levels for Bed Bath & Beyond after announcing this deal with Kroger, an online marketplace. They're going to have items from either store available. A bit of a move here that will, I guess, bring some positivity back to this. But I mean, the bigger story here, guys, it's 20, let me double check. It's 20 and change % shorted for this thing.
Yeah,
it's up because of what happened yesterday.
26.5% short. So, yeah, look, I mean, I went along. Yeah, I mean, it's only, obviously, it's up with that new deal. But, I mean, look, it's really a shame. When you look at Bed Bath & Beyond, you see this huge move to the downside here, and it was really left for dead. It should have been bought down here, whatever, a day too late. $1 too little. So what are you going to do? But down here at $14, $15, I mean, it was basing out down here. And we know it has a huge short interest. So I'm trying to look for some of these similar names, like a Rocket companies or like something else. Rocket, I just looked, is only 9% short. But there you go. They get a deal with Kroger. It's going to bring more revenues. Not only that, but obviously I'm only really long because of the short percentage. I mean, let's be honest. It's nothing. I don't think that move really should be doubling the stock price here. 14 to 20 28. That seems pretty unbelievable, considering this is something new that they're just trying. They don't even bring up like too many numbers that this could bring to them. This is not an earnings report. This is nothing like that. But one share, this is the other thing, a 1 billion share repurchase program has been accelerated. So they're going to do that by the end of this year, which is 2 months from now, instead of, and we wrote down, what was it, 2 years ahead of schedule. So 2023, they planned on completing that. So, hey, things must be going well if they're going to be putting back $1 billion of their own capital into their own stock. So let's see where Bed Bath & Beyond goes. Obviously, we're in this a little more than we want to be, because we started building it at 26, hoping that we held this 25 level, but we don't. And then our last bid there was at 25.30. It did dip down to 24.70. Let's see where we go from here. Where is an out? I mean, nobody knows. I mean, maybe Neil has an idea, but here on the daily chart, you do have these levels right here, 23, 24. So I think we'll lighten up around $24. We just don't want to make that same mistake that we've done on stocks before, where I sort of get married to them and, love them all the way down. Maybe that's just my dedication there. But, all the way down, I've bought these things. So we have to use the spot. There you go, Randy. Breakfast is in the building. 24 breaks right there, and we'll be out. But we're going to be averaging into 24. I really like Bed Bath & Beyond today. Look, it's already just made a nice move to the upside. Let's wait to see what happens. But, if we can get out at 28, damn well, we'll do that.
Yeah, and look, like you said, it's just, you get the positive headlines with the short interest after how everybody just got shocked by how far Avis went. And in terms of upside, you sort of look at it here, and I marked down like 30 and a quarter, 30, 50, this range where you've had a bit of a top. Now, each time it's breached this area here, with the notable exception of this pullback, at least recently, you've managed to have this break up to 48 on a meme day, and then you had support at 30, and you got up to 40 again. So, I mean, that seems like it'll be a significant level. It didn't even get there in the pre-market, in the post-market on the news releases. But you had this big, it's a big cluster. Like, the only reason I can't really work myself into a long right now is like 24.50 to about 22.20. Like, that's a massive sort of target entry area for like kind of a dip where you might expect there to be some support, which in the middle of that is like 23.5. That's a ways away. And I think, given the amount of upside that could be potentially here up to like that $30 level, that's $5 from here. So it's not terrible in terms of risk to reward. It's a little bit early in the session. Someone asked why I went long. It was like 16.11 on OCGN, so I did want to make sure I answered that one. OCGN, it's still looking strong, but I covered it in front of 16.75 right here, so it was just a scalp trade. If you look at the aftermarket, this is just a top at 16 even. You then had a double top and a breakout at 16 even and went to 19, came back. So it was just a dip buy in front of 16. Like, the second I saw it, and I didn't get it on the way down. This wick never happened. That's just a dark print. I didn't get it on the way down. The second it bounced off 16, I just went long once it held support at 16 for even a brief second, and then just scalp it out. Like, some out in front of here in like 16.30, and then 16.75. Maybe it continues to go, but I was just playing a bit of a bounce. If it just crashed right through 16 even, I wouldn't have taken the position, but it made a nice bounce there, which gave me an entry point. It gave me an exit at that low, and then I had a scalp range I wanted in front of this cluster here. So it was more a setup than anything else.
All right, a few IPO-related headlines to discuss this morning, guys. Coming next week, Rivian will get $60 billion valuation IPO from Rivian. This out this morning, though, they're talking about selling at least. Hey, Lucas. Sorry to interrupt you, but could we? Thanks. $60 billion for Rivian. SoFi apparently is going to get a portion of this IPO, or SoFi users are going to get a portion of this IPO. They haven't said exactly how much, but it's an interesting angle. If you remember way back in the summer, guys, we were talking about how SoFi was going to be the platform that gave its users access to pre-IPO pricing and the ability to be involved with IPOs before they actually hit the market. So here we go.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that we had talked about, and this is something you're now seeing become a reality for an IPO that everybody's, a lot of people are excited about. I think pretty much everyone in the street seems to be excited about Rivian when it comes to market. Speaking of SoFi specifically, now it's not moving right now. You can actually see it's slightly down in the session. But let's keep in mind where it's come from. That's your daily chart. I guess that looks a little bit more impressive if you want to show where it's coming from, like that 1550-ish bounce up to 23 now. But on the 15, look, we're going to get a break. We're going to get a break a couple of days ago here, right through that 2180 area, that previous high, and then a consolidation setting you up for another break today. Now, there's no volume on this news, so I guess, like maybe it's not providing the catalyst for a break of 23, but you're holding support at that previous resistance. You're getting a consolidation. You've got the momentum going for you. The breakout definitely sets up here on SoFi. It would be nice to see that headline, be the cause of a move to the upside, but the setup is still going to be there when it does happen. Maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow. You kind of would have thought with that positive headline, you could get that action today. So I'll have this one, that 23 break in the back of my mind, but not a lot of volume right now, so it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Honestly, that's enough for me. We can't, unfortunately, here in Canada, and shout out to our friends over there at SoFi, we can't participate in that because Canadian customers, as of the last time I checked, not able to have an account with SoFi. Hopefully, they'll be able to fix that. Shout out to SoFi. We were going to be hopefully having maybe their CEO on at some point. So I'm going to ask him about that. When and if. But anyways, Ford up to the upside right there. I've been taking some pieces out of Ford. We just talked about that. I turned about 15% yesterday at $18. I think part of this, obviously Ford came with great earnings. We know about the F-150 being electrified. We know all about that story, but also there is a story of the semiconductors. And I really think that if those come through and there's enough chips, then we'll be fine. But you can't make enough cars. You can't sell enough cars right now. There's not enough car availability. So obviously Ford's talking the right talk here, but it's well off of its 50-period moving average. It's been a great monster win to the upside. They do have, I'm not sure if you know the percentage, Brendan, but I think it's in the single digits percentage of Rivian. So it's not huge. Amazon and Ford into Rivian. I want to buy some Rivian on, I don't know if it'll be on IPO day. We'll see. IPO days have been kind of disastrous lately for some stocks, but I like Rivian. They're going to come in apparently $60 billion. I mean, that's just what they want to get. So, when the market IPOs, what are they going to get? 80 billion, something like that. So that might be a little lofty. That may, again, give Ford sort of an uncharacteristic bump to the upside on that day. So we'll wait for next week. We'll wait for Rivian. If Ford gets anywhere near $20, we're cashing out of probably 30% or so of what we have left. But you know what? It's been a big month for Ford. You can see we recently bought on this break right there. We tweeted all about it. We were waiting for this day to happen. That was only September 23rd. This was a $13 stock. So they've gained a ton of market cap in the last month and a half. So I think Ford's a great scalp here to get out of a little bit. And I said $1.80, right? You guys remember that number. $1.80 earnings per share. I slap a 10 multiple on that. It gets them to 18. So really super happy with the way Ford's been acting here today. And so that's my take on Rivian. I do want to buy that name for sure. Let's go Fisker. Thank you, Miss Bryn. You're the best.
It's 5%, guys. It's 820 million I see for Ford and Rivian there. So one of the articles I was reading on this actually said they have not disclosed how much it was going to be, but this one I dug a little deeper. 675,000 shares going to be made available to SoFi users. So that's not nothing. I mean, the IPO total is 135 million, so 675,000 going to be made available to SoFi users. Continuing on the IPO front, ESG, all the rage. This is a eco-friendly sneaker brand or shoe brand, Allbirds, coming to market today. So bird is the word today, guys. BIRD is going to be the ticker for Allbirds. It's not a huge one. It's 20.2 million shares, priced at around $15 a piece.
So I could go on like an ESG rant about how you should make your own decisions as an investor about what you think is morally good and is for sustainability, all the good stuff. But that's not important. We had Kevin on, Mr. Wonderful, and he talked a little bit about why it matters, because you want there to be institutional investment, and that's going to help prop up stock prices or support stock prices. So in this particular case, when you look at Allbirds, the fact that they're going to be at least popular in that crowd and going to get good scores is going to likely help them. So it's one that we're going to be watching today. I don't know a ton about the company except for the fact that they get that sustainability hype, which right now it's all the rage. You've seen what's happened with a lot of the not just the EV names, but we have to also extend it to so green energy names. They've been on that fantastic run recently, whether you talk about fuel cell or plug or things attached to the infrastructure potential bill. So it could get that spike. I don't know that I'm putting it in the category of just go long off the open wherever it happens to be. Like we'll have to, I always want to make sure, that there's actual you want there to be like an increase in the indicative price. You want there to be a higher open. You want there to be a lot of bids coming in instead of sort of just staying stagnant. Like I remember Global Foundries was, it just sat there at the issue price is indicative open and it didn't really budge. So it kind of showed you that there wasn't a lot of momentum going to the open trade. It ended up still being a good buy, but it just wasn't good for the market on open idea. So that's one of those things that you got to be concerned with, because I feel like those haven't been as good in particular situations, and it's all about momentum.
All right, you ready, Ms. V?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's go over to Ms. V. Quick time.
Russell Jackson, thank you, fam, for sending super chat for $50. We appreciate your support so much. You are doing so much for our show and the community, and I know that you are with us from the beginning. And here we go. Do you have Valeria flows, by the way?
Valeria floss? I don't have
Russell,
it. Maybe we
actually,
can...
I believe the only owner of hoodie with Valeria floss on that. We love you, Russell. And of course, Mike Crehan, thank you very much for your super chat. Also, you're the best.
I don't have hers. Wait for it.
Back to Brandon.
Finding it. All right.
Where?
Who are we going back to? Brandon? Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Russell Jackson. Well, I'll put it up right here. For those of you that didn't see Russell Jackson, thank you for the 50 there. We will smash the like button. We got the Sean floss. We're going to find, Rob's going to hit the Valeria floss when he gets a chance. And then thank you, Mike, as well. I'm still in those Air Force One dunks, like as we speak. So thank you so much for that. Love these shoes. Super, super comfortable.
He doesn't like the Allbirds, Mike says. Trash shoe. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
Mike, you're talking about the Allbirds, you trash shoe. But I mean, who knows about the company? We'll see.
Brando.
All right, guys, a few analyst moves to discuss so far this morning. The big one, obviously, at the top here, Bed Bath & Beyond. There's multiple price target increases on this today. Under Armour on here as well from yesterday. Nothing else really exciting here. Activision Blizzard, obviously a big move to the downside off of earnings. We'll talk about that. And the other big one, Zillow. Not good for Zed, guys.
No, there it is.
There it
Ms.
is.
B. Oh, the real-time floss. You got the real-time floss there. Okay. Good move. And thank you, Russell Jackson, of course, a big friend of the show. And thank you. You know what? We've said we'd make a bacon animation, Russ. So do you want a bacon animation? Because he used to say, let's throw the bacon around.
The answer to bacon is always yes.
I mean, the answer to bacon is always yes. Well, I don't know. Can you barbecue up some bacon? I think you can. I've put bacon on the grill before. You just got to make sure that you put it the right way so it doesn't slide down those little slots there, right, Randy? Okay, so let's keep going. Smoker, I guess, would be sick with bacon. And every time I think about that with barbecuing, Randy always tells us, he makes his ribs, he's got his brisket. This guy's cooking up everything. He's going to Montreal to bring us all back some smoked meat. Thanks, Randy, for that offer.
Gotta have good mustard though. That's the key. Smoked meat sandwich needs a good mustard. None of that.
We've gotten
none of that generic. Either habanero Dijon, that's the way to go. Honey
and
Dijon.
by the way, let's go right now. Supermanning right here on best. Yeah, that 100% right. You got to get the best mustard involved there. I like a nice little bread as well. Get that rye bread going through. Look at Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's go, baby. Let's start spinning this real early. We're just getting started here, baby. This is going to be a good day for us. I'm already feeling it. I hope you guys are feeling it as well. There goes Bed Bath & Beyond. We just took out 40 cents right there on the first bit, and we are loaded up. As you can see, we don't normally do this in the pre-market average into this spot, but we really like Bed Bath & Beyond. So we'll take out a piece right now. We'll just take out 20%. We'll see if we can fly. We talked about 28, 27 and change coming through there as well. There was a bunch of names that are on the upgrade and downgrades. I don't know if we want to get to Zillow rate. Go Bed Bath & Beyond. Up to 26 and change now, 50 cents now into the money. But yeah, Zillow, look, I mean, it's on our list. We did talk about, oops, it's an NQ name. We did talk about that yesterday and that we thought that maybe there was going to be a short play here. Let's go load that up. And yeah, today it looks like we're going to be right with that. And it's hard to make calls, into earnings because honestly, we don't have that crystal ball. It's hard to predict it. It's just if you go back to the daily chart here, this drop down here when they started to say that they were going to be selling some of their homes and that, it wasn't going well. Obviously, we talked about it yesterday with the thesis there that interest rates are going to be rising. It's going to be more expensive to hold on to homes and hold on to these assets. And let alone when interest rates start to rise, that's an area of concern, obviously, for property values as well. So we'll have to read through the report. I mean, I didn't dig through it or anything like that, but they are getting rid of that Zillow Offers, which is that program that they have. So it's obviously been a negative point. Housing's been huge, at least here in Canada. It's up like 400% in like 10 years or something. There was some stats. And single homes going nuts right now. So I'm thinking Zillow on the way up, when they were buying these houses, man, they were probably paying, market rates, right? Decent premiums and whatnot for those houses. Now housing's coming into a little bit of question again. So we'll see where Zillow goes now. But I think the 70 holds, man. I mean, that's the one thing that we put on our chat, on our sticky note here is that, it looked like 71 to hold down here. You're getting a beautiful bump back to the upside. There's still a relatively new business. So let's see what Zillow can do from here. But for me, I'm glad that you were able to make a little bit of money. So we'll go with a bang on that call last night. You wake up, you come in, you're in the money 20%. That's a good one for us. So yeah, really, really happy with this one right here. And also happy with some Bed Bath & Beyond. But I don't know. I think 70 on Zillow will probably be discussed here at some point again today. I'd short rate now this pop into 75, but again, I'm wondering if it's a little bit overdone. When we talked about this yesterday on the show, I said 70 yesterday into this area, which was even 80. So we even dipped down a little bit more. You could see some support at 60, but I don't think we get that low. Let's see where Zillow goes.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say Futu there. There was a share repurchase for Futu, by the way. So it's up like 10%. I see you guys, everyone's talking about it in the chat. It was 300 million share repurchase program. So it's up 8%. Well, actually, I said 10. It's actually 9%. But Futu has gotten a couple like double ding by the Chinese regulators there, and that's why you're seeing this not look as impressive on the daily. Big level break at 59. I think that's the only place where you'd look for a dip buy because for a couple of days now it's been resistance at 59. You can kind of see it right here on the 15-minute chart, and then support here. So there's some room to run. You catch it anywhere in front of 60, that's about $1 worth of risk, and then this previous floor is like 65 even. So there's actually more room to go. It's been an absolute dog, and at any day you can come in with another headline that further, just makes their business suffer or puts them under the crosshairs. So as a hold, I don't like that company just because at the end of the day, we saw what happened with BABA when you thought it was the last headline. It wasn't every single time, and it kept on falling. Futu, this is like, only a few weeks into it, but a nice little bounce here. 59 definitely can be some support.
It's worth mentioning, guys, on that Zillow news from yesterday as well. Watch Open Door because this happened yesterday on Open Door as well on that same front. And then they came out aftermarket, if you remember, and said, not only are they moving into Canada with a very similar offering, but they're also expanding their current operations in the U.S. So Open Door as well had a big move down yesterday, and you can see already kind of tailing off here pretty quickly so far in the pre-market. Let's get into this right away because we're getting on in time, guys. If you haven't done so already, that is the morning watch list. We send it out every morning before we come on at 8:30, absolutely free for you. Miss V will help you out in the chat if you do require that. Bed Bath & Beyond, the first one we talked about a little bit already, guys. You want to touch on that, or we can go down to Lyft. Lyft with a good report today. Higher here in the pre-market. Back to, close, I guess, to pre-pandemic levels for Lyft, which was not expected at all.
There we go. We found the Lyft animation right there. So, I'll touch briefly on Bed Bath & Beyond. It just looks like it's bouncing off 26 right now. So we're long 25.50. So it's been a good trade for us. We averaged in, good one. We took it out right there on that 26 break the first time. And now we're going to wait to see if it can continue to bump up. So I'm going to be long and strong this name. Hopefully not all day, because if it comes up here, then we're going to try to cash this out around. We'll hold some for, an ultimate nuts kind of a move. But we'll wait to see see on Bed Bath & Beyond here, but I still like that play. We'll see if we can hold it. I have another offer. Just again, I'll give lift to Neil in a second. 26.20 or so. So if we could just get out on one little bump back to the upside and then try to hold 60% of this trade, I think we'll do good. And then we'll wait for that 28 top. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But Bed Bath & Beyond, I like the story here. I like what they're doing with Kroger. And most importantly, I like the 27% short interest that is in this name. So it's a way big move. It's way too high. I do not recommend like buying this and thinking that you're going to get, this is a great value for the company or anything like that. It's way off here, or way up, I guess, way off where I believe it should be. There was an awesome opportunity to buy this down here at 14.15. But I mean, this not too long ago, guys. You just got to go back to, I mean, there it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. Like this has just been an absolutely great little run for me here. This is now $1 in the money on Bed Bath & Beyond. Like, this is the thing, guys. I can say this over and over and over again, but there's only one name here on the sticky note today. That it's the #1 name here on said sticky note. Buy, long all day, Already long in the pre-market. So let's giddy up. We're getting excited here, if you can't tell, as Bed Bath & Beyond right now, just creating a little bit of sausage action as we fire it off real early. Let's get this party started, guys, right now. Firing off some sausages. Neil, kill him with kindness with lift. Let's go.
I'll get to lift in a second. Someone was asking about Bed Bath & Beyond earlier when I was talking in the pre-market. I just simply said, if I can find an entry point, I like it now because you actually have a range that can be made. So you actually hold 25 on a failed break, which looks like a failed break to me at 25 even. It then breaks back out. You have that cluster since the failed break, 25.50, now to about 26.5. Ignore these dark pool wicks. So right in the middle, you have another breakout with a 25.50 stop, and that actually sets up. I also got into U1K. I'm going to give this trade to about $8, and if it breaks up, I want to short it even higher. Sorry, not U1K, just U1. U1K moved the last time that stock was a thing. That's just the other shares. But I'm only trading U1. It's doing more volume. Lyft, I'm an Uber shareholder, as you guys know, and I've made that. I like the fact they got Uber Eats. They have a heck of a lot else going on with their business, but Lyft, surprise earnings. I mean, obviously a beat, but surprise profitability here. You do have a break above the 50 period. It feels like a lot. 13.5% feels like, I know it's a surprise beat, but I'm a little shocked to see it up this much. I think Uber, last I checked, was about 6%, and we'll see what happens with their earnings that are upcoming as well. But if it gets any higher than this, you kind of look back to, and this is my 15-minute chart, by the way, I kind of look back to this 53.5 to 54, where it's put in a bit of a top back on the 14th. And then you just simply look at what happened here in the pre-market, where that's where it stalled out on ridiculously light volume. So even if it breaks the high, I think you got resistance 50 cents higher. It's barcoding doing nothing. The volume isn't there either. It does set you up for a little bit of a pop and drop style play where the news gets sold off. Now, the problem with Lyft is liquidity at the open. Its stock is notorious. Lemonade's on our list as well. Those two stocks are notorious for having crappy liquidity at the open and making 9:30 trades not very good or very safe for you. I know this about Lemonade because I once had a gorgeous short on it and was looking at the level 2 and it was like, I can't hold this. It was literally just could not hold it because if someone put one buy order in, I was screwed. And I'm not saying Lyft is that case, but I tread very, very lightly on it. Oh, I just got into food too.
I have... Oh man, so last night I picked up my daughter at gymnastics and we have a tradition that I blast music and then she sticks her head out the window, and last night it was all about Taylor Swift. So in my head, I've got her songs in my head. So if I start singing some Taylor Swift, I apologize, but that's what people say, So we're getting ready.
Song.
We're getting ready to go now.
Not that one.
But we've been saying it all about Bed Bath & Beyond.
Why does it
here.
have to be that one?
Here we go, man. Let's just go. Shout out to Taylor Swift.
Crypto-related, guys. Riot just popping up on a volume scanner. They just came out saying 464 Bitcoins minted in October for RIOT. So there was a spike back to the upside there, but right back down. For RIOT, let's bring in Arun, get a look at the overall market. It is quiet right now, but will not be about 2 p.m., Arun.
Yep. It's all about the Fed today. The market overnight has gone quiet. It's not doing a whole lot, right? It's sitting around this 46.20. Now we're coming back a little bit to 46.15. So I'm going to give a couple levels, but those levels don't matter until a certain time. So I'm going to look at 4,600 and obviously 4,630 up top. So 30-point range there. The market's kind of right in between there. This number, for me, these levels are valid pretty much going into about 130. At that point, I would just keep them off. And then as soon as 2 o'clock hits, they do not matter. Because the way that the Fed would work is that you're going to have program action right off the get-go, because it would be based on what the statement reads. And programs read faster than people do. So what you're going to get is an instant move in one direction, and you might get a counter move, and it gets really messy very quickly. And then, of course, at 2:30, you have the, I guess, a Q&A session as well. So that tends to provide some more volatility going into the day with the Fed. So be aware that any activity you're going to get starting the day, it's probably going to last maybe an hour, hour and a half. You're going to see it go quiet. With Europe closing, at least based on the way North America has their daylight savings, with Europe closing at 12:30, you might get a move around 12:20 to 12:30 Eastern time as Europe closes and kind of sets up their positions and books for the Fed as well, for the U.S. Fed. And then from that time on, you're probably going to see it go quiet. And then 2 o'clock hits, everything is going to go crazy. The program is going to be hitting the bids, the offers, anything. And if you haven't traded the Fed, especially on a day like this, because up until this point, there really hasn't been much changes, right? Or people haven't really been expecting a whole lot. This would be, I think, the first time that there's going to be an adjustment made as been telegraphed on the tapering side, on the bond purchases and the mortgage-backed security side of things. So be aware that this would be different from all the other Fed rates and decisions that we've had in the last little bit, just because this one's actually expected to be something different, as has been telegraphed since the last couple Feds. So be aware that the volatility on this day specifically would be a little bit more so than the last few times. So be aware that if you haven't traded before, just kind of take a step back and watch how things move, because it gets very violent very quickly. And then, of course, 2:30 going into the close, you're going to have that Q&A session, which kind of would clarify things, and people would read into what's coming out of the Fed chair's mouth based on the questions that are being asked. So things will really change after 2 p.m. And just be aware that after the market opens, the volatility will die down. I would imagine about an hour, hour and a half or so. It'll be fairly quiet, and then you might get some volatility towards the European close, like I mentioned, and then the Fed.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, worth mentioning, guys, if you haven't traded that before, today is probably not the day to start. Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow. Let's go to CAR, Avis Budget Group. I mean, if you missed yesterday, it was pretty exciting, to say the least. All the way up here to almost 550, I guess we topped out at. Back to 320 today, guys. This thing was 180 bucks at the start of the day yesterday.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a double up that it held overnight, which is, to me, one of the most impressive things. By the way, Sava just had news. Was short. I think it's like a short seller report, it looked like to me. So watch out for that one. It actually got crushed and came back. I was about to go over it, but we can talk about Avis first. Look, and the one thing I didn't say about not OCGM, but Bed Bath & Beyond, that definitely should be mentioned, is I'm not touching that short till 30. If 30 breaks, I'll probably look at 35, but really should sit it out till 40. And then the halt trade, I think had the willingness on the upside long, you have to hold it through some of the halts instead of just getting a bunch out. And that reopen, that was what burned me on CAR, because the bigger profit was holding through. All that being said, you have this $30 level. I guess the 15-minute chart's going to stink if I look at it that way. You have this $300 level on the way back. When it made that top at 500, the 480 halt down, you had 307 hold. You're now getting basically the same level here, holding in the pre-market. So it's going to stand out, and it's going to be a little bit obvious that if 300 breaks, it's going to get pretty ugly. I think you can definitely retrace some of the previous halt prices like 260. But remember, this is now holding up here for a second day. And just like every single one of these, whether it's DWAC or AMC, it doesn't matter. Just name any one of them. When these start holding up for a day or two on big volume at these high prices, a lot of times it's like shorts haven't unwinded and some have been emboldened, because it is still easy to borrow. Like, we don't have to pay a cent for this. Day traders aren't paying a cent to be able to short this. So people, if it pops up and we get another retest of this 75 area, there will be a lot of shorts involved. If it breaks that, I think sit it out until 420, because that's maybe the one level that you can look at that isn't a round number. So be prepared that you could have a day 2 move. Now, do I like the fade? Yeah, I probably like the fade today in this stock. I think it does set up for a pop and drop, maybe a little bit closer to that 60 or 75, which that's $50 from here. If you're trading Avis and you're not willing to stomach $20, $30, $40 worth of movement, well, then make sure you get a good price, because that's just what it has the ability to do here today, and you've got to expect that can happen.
Yeah, unless, like yesterday you had the quick short outs, right? So you got to make sure that,
But I screwed up one stop. I missed one stop, and that blew almost the entire trade the way up.
Yeah. 310, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, you're going to have to wait to see what it does. I mean, it was a good look. The thing is, it was already at, let's just say before this all started and before the earnings report, you're at 180. They reported 1050 against 650. So they knock it out of the park on their earnings, right? So it does deserve to get bumped up. Now, 560 yesterday, obviously 550, that's the parabolic move that we talk about when the market breaks and, it's a gamma squeeze to the upside. People getting caught short. They can't believe this move. They're shorting into here, and then boom, they get blown out. And then you can sort of see it kind of, it was basically that short there, 500, and then there was another possibility in here at 450. So I think it's right. Let's, if you like the long here, I think you take it just on a break of 380. Just pretend like this is the kind of the pre-market area. And then if you can break above like 360, 370, 380, then I think you can test again this 420, 440, 450. Like, I mean, I'm not sure we get all the way up here because the sort of the game plan is here now. So we'll wait to see what happens with Avis. But, yesterday was definitely a fun day. We stayed clean of this. But today, I think if it comes back down into 300, maybe it gets bought. And again, like 180 with a good report. We've seen stocks. I mean, look at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's up 30% today, or 50% today. What am I talking about? Basically, just on the note with Kroger, right? So, hey, does it have another opportunity to squeeze? Yes, it does. But I think, it could settle down like 240, 260. That makes sense to me. A 180 stock with a great report in this environment. They're only ones with cars, these rental companies. So, hey, makes sense to me. I think Avis is going to be a buy for a bit here. I kind of get the GME kind of AMC feels here, where it makes sense that it moves up. And does it make sense that it goes to 560? No, but that's a market function. So let's see where Avis trades today. I do like it, and we'll just wait to see where it goes.
Another big move to the downside this morning is in Activision Blizzard. Not a good report for ATVI. Their forecast as well, a little bit lower than expected, 2.78 billion versus 2.9 billion going forward. So number of price target cuts on this thing. Not too much in the way of positivity. There was some executive changes. They even came out and said they're delaying further the release of a few popular names for ATVI.
Oh man, I didn't even.
You're not going to want that.
Yeah, I didn't even look at this stock today because I saw that it was down, and I know that there's not many levels to talk about once you make this move. I mean, we've seen some HR issues. Yeah, they've had a lot of problems recently here, and it's a name that I can't really get too far behind. You've seen there like 1.8 billion versus 2.8, so that's like a monstrous miss there. And then now you get some management stepping down. They're delaying the launch of some titles there. I don't know enough about it. We'll leave this one to Trader Brad, but ATVI just continues to get just destroyed, basically. It had some nice base here. Once you broke through this $90, it was basically just nothing but downside. If I would have thought about ATVI reporting yesterday, I might have made a similar comment to this as I would have to Zillow. But again, that's a big miss there. I don't really see many levels, whether or not you want to trade this or not. 1.2 million shares is good. I think it even goes further from here to the downside. So, a break of 66, 67, and there you go. 13%. Is that really enough? I mean, it should probably be even lower. Management changes. They're brutal on the top line and bottom line. 10% to me, 13% doesn't seem enough. We'll try to short any pops. If we get something into 68 or so, that might be an idea, but I don't even mind. Look at that. Holy shnikes, as Bed Bath & Beyond right now, guys, we are just in the money. Well, we still are in the money at $1.50 right now, and ripping to the upside right now goes BBBY. So, why look at ATVI when you can look at BBBY, and that still continues to go. So, again, one name is completely on my watch list, and one isn't. So the sticky note right here has Bed Bath & Beyond the #1 stock. I do like that trade, though, on ATVI. I think you can short any pops.
Like to me, it's like if it's below that pre-market high at 69, it's a short. There's a target area that might have support on the stock down to like 62.5 to 65. Well, that's a few bucks away, and the risk to reward is pretty good, anywhere from 68 to 69. So the first pop it makes, I'm willing to take it like 50 to 60 cents from here, and then likely another time if it rolls over around that 69 area. I always prefer that setup if it actually happens at 9:30, where you get a little bit of buying, like dead cat bounce gets put in, you get that high tested, and then it flushes. And just a bit of a warning. I'm in that U1K at 775, and it's like that $8 I'll use as a first stop. But for a couple of minutes, it opened up a 30-cent spread on me on an $8 stock, which is just weird. You don't usually see that kind of a thing happen. So tread lightly on that one. It's got decent volume, but it's not really trading as much as you would expect. So maybe wait till the open if you want to dig into that stock. But ATVI, I'm shorting pops. It's just like Sean said. There's nothing. I can't say anything positively about their report. I don't know what there is to even say.
Worth touching on, guys. A few people still talking about this Cassava Sciences. My window is not loading here, but this thing got caught up in that move yesterday with a huge move of its own, all the way back to 70. Came off pretty hard. Something called Quintessential Capital is who just shorted the stock, or maybe shorted all the way up yesterday, and is now trying to cash in on said short. 23.5% short interest on SABA, down 8% here.
Oh, that was give me a break. There was just a bad dark pool print on Bed Bath & Beyond there.
I didn't get 25.50s. I'm sitting there at 25.60. So yeah, that 25.
Was there a bad wick? Yeah, was there a bad wick on this thing?
Yeah,
My stop triggered and it didn't even go anywhere close. So I just got back in.
What was your stop?
I had to double check it. But anyways, I think it should have been 25.50.
Yeah, I just bought more on that. I mean, I want to be long. Yeah, 25.50. Yeah, that did.
Okay,
hit,
so yeah.
25.38. So I'm
going to use a different stop there because I got wicked out when this happened. I just got right back in.
Okay.
Anyways, that can happen to you. I'll go to Sava only because I wasn't planning. Like I came in today and Sava was doing absolutely nothing after the move yesterday. And I know we looked at it yesterday in the afternoon show, but absolutely, do I want to trade it now after that short seller report? This stock had gone 44 to 70, and then these guys come in who probably shorted a bunch on the way up. And like Brendan said, it just seems obvious. We'll see. If it wants to pop back up and can hold this 53 to 55 area, I think that can be a short. But you got to be able to get out of here if this thing takes out like 56. Like that was the bottom in the afternoon, and then you're going to consolidate here. If it gets above that price, you don't know where the big boys had this one short. Like maybe it was early, maybe they got who the heck knows, right? So once it starts getting momentum to the upside, I just walk away from it. When you get these short seller reports, if they catch a bid right away on the first day, a lot of times you want to get out of the way if you're sitting there shorting. The momentum's not with you, and there's a lot of trap shorts in there. So I do like it in front of that 55, 56 area where you were barcoding in that previous low, but above there, don't dig in too deep. That's just asking to get run over.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't really looked at Sava, but yeah, you'll watch the price action on that one as it becomes open soon. On open, we'll see some craziness there. I do like AMC. That's another name that's on my watch list here. Look, guys, we've been going long this name. I mean, I don't know if. Yeah, my trades aren't showing up yesterday, but we were long this name. We called 36.50 as support yesterday, and we got long here and got out all the way at the top here, 38, so on and so forth. And then now today you're getting bumped up one more time here on AMC. So we've been loving this name for a very, very long time here. You see the momentum's come up. I've been talking about it off the open there today that I wanted to get some shares if we ever dipped back in. So AMC holding up nicely at $35, $36. And then today, you guys want to trade today? I mean, I put it on the sticky note right here. And what I talked about was we were long all day yesterday. We've been buying some dips. So let's do it again as momentum has returned. So I thought, I mean, we're taking off here. So I was hoping, and again, hope doesn't matter, but I was thinking that we may be able to get a dip down in here into 39 and then take that top 39.50 or so. But, maybe my AMC is loading. There it is. So yesterday, long, and then there's the out right there at 38. So we got long early, right off the bottom there. Great trade. That's my long there yesterday, 37 flat. Out 38.70 there right at the end of the day. We said we'd hold it all day. I don't have the same feels today because you're already up that 5% and we're bouncing off some of those levels down to the downside. So I'm thinking like what I did was this move, 38 up to 40. So we kind of come back into halfway, look at 39.50, look at $40, something like that. So we do want to buy any of these moves here on AMC, especially if it drops down. I don't know about the upside on AMC right now. It's taking out some of these levels. If we zoom in here, you're just breaking through the 50 period. Yesterday's high or a couple wicks there. I guess it wasn't true yesterday, but 42.50 could be a number. We've had some stops here at 43, so there could be something there if you take into these consideration some candles that we saw last week. So up to 43, 43.50 would be your ultimate high, but we did get as high as 44.50. So let's see where AMC goes from here. I want to buy these dips, not right now, not right off the open. We haven't done, and Brendan, give me a minute here. Let's just check this. We haven't done anything here yet. So this is not. We always talk about this stock because it's on here. I'd get rid of it if I could, but it's been halted forever. I don't know anything about this name, so I'm not going to look at it. AMC has a bid side there. XOM is there as a sell. We've been talking about getting a put. I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. Hopefully, I'll do that today. Uber as well as a buy. We talked about them getting some love today off of big time, up 7%. Yesterday, this was $42, right? So Uber getting some nice love. Look at that. Bounced right off the 50 period. We were down. This was real yesterday. We were down there. So anyways, Uber yesterday getting a nice bump today. Other than that, man, you see Alibaba with a small bid, waiting for that to break through 170 again. And that's about it. NEO, always we love to trade some NEO on the show. So we'll be looking at that today as well, Brendo.
Yeah, Uber Thursday aftermarket, guys, for earnings. Let's talk about Zillow, another one with a couple of different symbols you can look at. Just check the volume. Z or ZG. Z is by far the volume leader right now. So as we said earlier, if you joined us at 8:30 this morning, they're going to shut down Zillow offers, and they also expect 240 to 265 million in additional losses because of this going forward into the next quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of beat this one to death here a little bit today. So if you haven't seen much about Zillow yet, get ready. There it is, Bed Bath & Beyond, and just took out another price there. So we just took another 70 cents on Bed Bath & Beyond there as it's bouncing upside. We'll see if it takes out 47 soon. So Zillow, we talked about this yesterday. They're closing that Zillow offers operation. They're selling more of their homes. They're underwater on those. I guess, without going through with a fine-tooth comb, like I said, that report, which I have not done, a big move to the downside. I still think, and again, it's just going by price action. We've held 75. That was a great short. We talked about that earlier on here today. I just too involved right now with Bed Bath & Beyond to worry about this, but I think this is going to come to the downside. People asking about the imbalances, so we will see here. I don't know how they lost money, Puppy Chow, in this market, but the thing is, the writing for me was on the wall when they announced their recent sale before earnings. They're almost better to wait and just announce everything all at once, and then you wouldn't get this move probably to the downside. But there's Zillow, man. We're breaking lower. They're in this area. I think that just a little bit of restructuring comes through for them, and they'll get their ship straightened out. So I like the name, but I don't like it now. I think if you can get back in here to 50 or so where we have some love for them, that could be something. Obviously, you're going to see it was a relatively recent IPO, so it's going to go back. We can find some levels, but a big boom here for Zillow, probably way overhyped there on some housing sales where people are buying. People are moving out of the city, which we'll see if it's going to be a wrong move or not. But housing was going crazy. So I think they just got caught with their pants down a little bit, holding too many properties. So we'll see what happens now with Zillow. But hey, maybe they're getting good prices for some of the properties that they own. And I think the story is still out on Zillow, but I'm shorting any pop.
I'm pretty sure I saw something like 2/3 underwater.
Yeah,
it was a large. It wasn't a small number. It was a large number. But just by the way, guys, OCGN, I took a scalp trade, but it ended up going all the way to 18 even. So far, it's respecting even dollars, like 16 break, 14 bottom, 19 top. It just turned around at 18, still running. I'm probably not like the biggest, OCGN sort of long-term fan or any of that, but you got to follow the price action. I think if it does have a solid 20 even, that could be a place to go short. Just watch out, be careful. This is certainly one that can halt in either direction. There's some jittery longs in this trade based on what I saw yesterday. When it broke a technical level, it would just absolutely flush. So I'm always concerned about what kind of a bid it has under some of these support levels. And you look at 16, if this were to go, don't be surprised if it drops $1.50. So put that in the back of your minds.
All right, let's go to a few little ones. Bottom end of the list this morning. We'll talk about a few of those U1, and there's also that GFAI. If you remember last week, GFAI popped up on a headline regarding its PR. that they've now hired a firm to look after. So it looks like that's the only thing to deal with today. I'm going to go back to the well again on PHUN, guys, after that move we saw yesterday, along with DWAC back to the upside, got all the way up here to 5 and 520. So these highs, 5 and 520, 460 and 480 were areas of congestion. A lot of volume traded between 460 and 480 yesterday. So we're below that. Obviously, if we get back up into this, would give you an opportunity for PHUN, guys.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to Urban 1 here. We only have 5 minutes to go. It's on the bottom of the watch list. There was a lot of, I guess, like elections and ballot initiatives the last couple of days, or I guess yesterday in the U.S. And there was a ballot initiative in, I think it was Richmond or whatever. So yeah, Richmond, Virginia for a casino, and it was the U1 casino, which they put advertising out. They've been promoting it, and then the initiative it's lost. Apparently, there's still some ballots to be counted, but allegedly those are like the mail-in ones, and mathematically it's not going to happen. So that's why they're gapping down 31%. I know it was a meme stock before, but this news to the downside is not meme related. This is actual news, and on your daily chart, you can see like this was a crazy like meme stock a couple of times that would ramp to the upside. It caught a bounce off of $6. I'm basically shorted a pop into this $8 area, and then I'm going to start scalping it out all the way down to hopefully like about a $6.50. Doesn't even have to take out the low on that news, but you know, I'll be on the south side of this. If 8 breaks, I'll probably look at the 9 even as well. And by the way, CAR just absolutely flushed there, down to 315, 312. So what just happened on Cardinal Foods?
Get ready to rumble.
Yeah,
on
this
CAR,
stock could get
guys.
crazy.
I told you that.
Now
I think
it's going.
The real levels, I think, are 270, 260, something like that. Look, guys, where are all of the crypto bears? Like, honestly, where are you guys? Like, are we just eating your lunch or what? Like, Ethereum up to 4,600. Like, hey, let's get Michael Burry on the show and we'll ask him about his short call down here at $2,000 for Ethereum, all right? Or his Bitcoin short call at 30,000. So, look, people are going to say, well, it's coming, it's coming. Okay, fine. Whether or not it's coming or not, who knows? You know, winter is coming as well. But, you know, right up to the upside right now, continues to make some moves. So let's celebrate Bitcoin as that just continues to rock and roll here in the crypto space. And yeah, we are super, super jacked up about everything now. You know, we're pretty heavy into these names, and there goes Ethereum to the upside. Riot is moving today. Hut 8 is a great name as well to get involved with. And there you go. So, you know, look, the crypto pundits and all that will come out, and they'll be, you know, once crypto goes down, oh, it's all over. But you know what? Honestly, like, just every time someone says something negative about crypto, just buy more of it. And, you know, get out on these pops every once in a while. I don't think there's anything wrong with cashing out some of your play now.
Just don't buy stuff like that Squid Coin.
Well,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Like their white paper had
Randy.
Their white paper had spelling errors in it and grammatical mistakes. Like, and then they pulled the rug on it like a couple of days in.
I saw some, and I don't want to say anything, but like I saw some kids running around in Squid Game outfits, like as if your kids have even watched Squid Game. There, some people there on Halloween, like I don't know, like my kid's 9, and he'll be like, oh, Squid Game. I'll be like, you don't even know what Squid Game is, and like you're not even going to be allowed to watch this. But I get there's memes out there and things like that. So yeah, look, you're going to buy those coins, man. Some people make money, and then when they do, they get out, and then everyone's left holding the bag. Look, I'm holding huge bags on cannabis stocks, right? So join the club on that one. I was holding ADA bag for a while, but you know that hasn't turned out to be a bag at all. Bag full of something else. Okay. Oh, Randy, I did want to ask you this because Ford just came out with their number, and they have 160,000 reservations for the F-150 electric. So I don't know if that's a good number or not, but straight there to the upside. Maybe we can get Randy on if we don't have a guest today for 5 minutes to talk a little bit about that. If you want, Randy,
what's their deposit for reservations?
I don't know, but probably $5,000 or something.
I just thought Randy might know. That's all.
No. It might not even be. They might not even be taking too much from that for reservations because they are making them and they know they can sell them like crazy. But Bed Bath & Beyond right now is making that move back to the downside. So we have been cashing out here on the upside. This was a past reload spot with only a minute and a half to go. We got to watch out for this bottom falling out on this name. This is a monster move up. The only reason we're in this is for the short squeeze. So we have capitalized on some of these plays so far here today. But we're still in this name. So we've been in and out of it is what I'm trying to get at. So we still hold obviously a core position as we get ready to tank here on the open. A quick check on the imbalances. Yeah, nothing. I don't even want to look at this. AMC up to 41. I think any dip needs to be bought there. NEO as well. We could check out some AMD here today before we go. We only have a minute now to the bell, so we got to get ready for the bell to be rung. AMD 128 right now. A nice move here. We'll see if it takes out that 128.50, but we're going to be buying anything back downside. Anything tanks today, we're going right to AMD if this market falls off.
And Futu, by the way, are gonna ring the Reggie on that one. I don't know. We can do to the moon, hopefully, from Futu. I don't think it's going to the moon, but that didn't even work. I don't even know if it did. So I don't know what's going on with that one. But either way, Futu got to $60. I took some out there. I'll do last-ditch effort to buy in front of that $25.50 on Bed Bath & Beyond. Keep in mind, we just saw Carr already put in a big wick to the downside. If it breaks 300, things could get pretty ugly here. We talked about support levels. You look at that 260 on the whole price. I think that makes a lot of sense. I did get some out of U1K because I got to take profit at 750. It was a very, very small spread. It is take your kid to work day. So Randy's daughter, Bryn, is going to be ringing the bell today, if you're wondering who that is. So we're going to drop it down. There is the countdown.
5, 4,
I don't know how you put up with him, but congrats. 3, 2, and 1.
Let's go.
That's how it's done, Randy.
Yeah, doing Randy proud right there. Thank you so much, Bryn, for that one, as it is Take Your Kid to Work Day. So we're really happy to have her through. Okay, Bed Bath & Beyond. Look, 24.50 is going to be a breaking spot there. We'll see what it can do down there. If it hits down near 24.50 is where your boy is going to watch that. So we'll see if that comes through. It looks like it's getting hit pretty hard right now. To the downside goes Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's see if there's some sort of a relief rally now in this name.
Yeah, I'll do, come on, where's my key? We'll do this one for U1K. Now, the spread was crazy, so I'm taking some out in front of 7 even. Now it's broken 7. Now I'm thinking about 675. I'm thinking about 650 to that downside. So U1 continuing to flush here. Futu absolutely running here through the high of the day, through that 60 level. At this point, I just got to think about that $62.50 range that I was talking about before. I do think this news, whatever, any day, at any moment, the stock gets crushed by the government. So I just kind of feel like you got to take your profit where it lies. Dip bought at 59, didn't get the initial move. I'm shooting 62.50 for the rest of those shares. So looking pretty good on this one to the long side. And Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, here it comes. I'm getting, I mean,
like,
20,
wow.
Yeah, 24 is going to be my out right there. So it looks like we're going to be completely wrong on trying to buy this one. We did take some profit, but obviously this is going to be a loser as we're getting ready for it to break back down through 24. So there it goes. So there we go. We're out of that one. I just wonder now, so we just got out. Let's see if it falls any more. So we may be able to buy this. Yeah, okay, here it comes. I was going to say we may be able to buy this back if that was that wick bottom, but it doesn't really look like that's the case here. We'll see about another long through 24 if it goes, guys, but this one's getting crushed right now.
So a couple of things also moving. DWAC for some reason caught a bid here. I have no idea why. It just got back up to like 67 before flushing in, but it's Avis. A little bit surprising. So I kind of thought maybe we would be breaking that 300 at the open. It's caught a bit of a bounce. Look back to this opening top at 330 here. I said not the opening top, 925. It got to about 330. If it stays below that, I think it can be a rollover. Activision Blizzard. And then sometimes it just only goes down and you want to short the pop and there's no pop to be shorted. You can see here Activision getting crushed even some more. I guess nothing good there. And Zillow actually not moving down. It actually... Wait a minute, that's not bad.
We were worried about that.
Zillow broke the high, so that's a top break and a bit of a immediate rejection. So that's not a horrible setup. This is what I wanted to happen on Activision, not Zillow. But if Zillow's going to do it, it might be worth a shot here. You have a 76 out. I just don't like 74 as a short. Like 75 would make some more sense here. Maybe if it pops to 75, I'll take a shot at shorting it because I know my out would be 76.
Okay, so we're going to go one more time here into, so this is not AMC, into Bed Bath & Beyond here. We'll take a 24 bid and see if we can't just see if this one wants to get back to the upside, but it might not. So our out now, we're going to do 23.50. If it breaks through there, then we'll be gone this name, and we'll see about having some better luck on this one next time here, as it looks like keep saying AMC because it's in here, as Bed Bath & Beyond looks to take down the lows here. Not a good move here today for Bed Bath & Beyond. So we're going to leave this one now, as it looks like it's going to break one more time, and then we're going to find something else, including AMD, which I really, really like. Their Apple back to 150 as well. Look at the NASDAQ right here, guys. That's cracking. So we got to watch out. There's some nice dip buy opportunities here. We're just going to go find some. Let's forget about this Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's go over to something that we can buy.
We did buy Futu, but it already hits that 62.50. It broke. It got to 63.25 and has already pulled back in. So a little bit of a consolidation there. Sometimes you can miss the initial news, but if you can find a place that makes sense to dip buy risk to reward, which it did at that cluster there at 59 even and ends up holding almost to a T, and now I'm going to make a bit of a runner. I'm done with it. I'm looking back over to Cassava Sciences here, which I just tried to catch. Remember, I wanted to pop and roll here, so it gets to 55, rejects it. I try to short it on the way back down, don't catch it, so I'm stuck with only U1 here to the south side and watching CAR, which is still trying to grind a little bit. 23 on Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yep, see ya. I mean, we just tried it one more time, and then we just cashed out. So
22.20 was the bottom of the support range I had, but it was a $2 support range. It was too big.
I don't. I mean, we knew that. Look, we knew that news wasn't the greatest. We're trying to play that for the short squeeze there. That's why we were saying, like, I don't think this is a buy in anybody's portfolio or anything like that. But there's that move down to that 22.60, and now maybe it's found some support now to the upside. But that's still going to be Bed Bath & Beyond. We're gonna have to watch that one go. We talked about.
I want to warn people. If you're trading RRD, I put in the chat, like, there's some weird terms to this deal. It is $8.52 cash. There is a previous shareholder that owns 15% of the company. They have already said that they were pissed off that they weren't consulted when the board accepted the new deal, because they're willing to offer $9 to $9.50. That's why it's trading higher. It's a potential bidding war. So it may look like it's not moving like a normal leverage buyout, but believe me, it can move on a headline. It can pop above $9.50. It could drop to that $8.50 price. Just tread very cautiously and read the report. If you're interested in trading this thing, just make sure you read the press release so you understand the mechanics of what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's obviously, read everything you can about some of these names. AMD goes all the way down to 127. We'll see if we can pick some up here, 127.20. So we just do that. And again, you know, if this is going to be a day where the NASDAQ falls down, then so be it. We'll take this hit. But we've been doing well on AMD buys. Here it comes right down to the downside again. So this NASDAQ may not be done with today. We're going to have to see about what levels it wants to hold. We do have some levels back here, 15,900, things like that. But it looks like we're just tipping down right now to some of these levels. So yeah, a stock like AMD that's been a NASDAQ darling is just not going to work in this environment. But we'll buy again down here just to see if there is some retracement back up. Remember, it's Fed day today. So, you know, the market, people could be taking some profits, a little jittery about what Sir Powell's going to do. So be very, very careful with this one. I don't know. Oh, you know what? My Unity's not logged in there. So if someone can do that, that's why I can't hear. What's up, Brendo?
That could be a problem. GME, guys, GameStop, early mover here. Big volume went off through pre-market highs there, 219, 220. GME, 6.5% already.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, there's no chance that both of us would actually forget. So SoFi, yeah, it broke 23. That is a monster move. So it dipped down to 22.45 and then broke at that 23. There was no follow through to that news release that Brendan brought you, and I said maybe like today or tomorrow actually because of that. So, you know, we're gonna get a bit of a surprise here. 23.03 I just got long. We like those quarters, we like those evens, so I'll put an offer in front of 23.25. See if I can catch a quick fill. One of the things that concerned me about Bed Bath & Beyond was that support level. When I went back and looked at the daily chart, that's this way, Neil. When I went back and looked at the daily chart, the cluster of support was right here at 22.25 to like 24.20, which is a wide range, but you know what? It just dipped all the way into that range and got right to the 22.50 mark. So that's right in front of that 22.25. I did pick some shares up at 55. Now I want to see if we can scalp some. I mean, it just could have just had like a 50-cent win there, but that's one of the things that concerned me. Like, if it broke out some of these lows, like that 25.5, which for me was, it gave you an out. It had nothing until I got to that level, so I took it long. I'm scalping 50 cents out. I don't know if it's going to go back $1 or $2, who knows. But the one trade that actually just came in and my stop did not trigger on Zillow, I could have got really lucky.
Look at AMD.
Zillow just broke 70, got 75 short. It broke 76, rejected the 76. If it takes it again, I got to get out of this. Dead cat bounce on Zillow here.
All right, guys. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, we talked about AMD here buying this. Look at this move, 127.20. We were actually sitting down here, never got to fill. We were waiting a little bit lower. That's fine. But 127.20 out, 127.90 for half. So making back a little bit of that Bed Bath & Beyond money here as this is starting to go. Let's go, man. We'll just hopefully floss it off for you, Russell Jackson, there as we're going. Fun is starting to go. I see everybody spamming right now, 460. Let's see if that is true. How much fun are we going to have on this name? Yesterday in the afternoon, we bought this level, 435, took it out at 511. That was a good trade. We'll see if we can't do that again. But look at these tops, man. We talked about why we got out, 520. So we'll see if fun hits that level one more time. But for right now, it's not doing a whole hell of a lot, but a nice move upside. Just be careful if you're long this name into 510 or so there for PHUN. And
always make sure you know what's going on with DWAC, because I feel like those two tend to move together. I know DWAC had made a move to the upside when I last checked it, but it's pulling back in. It just came back in $2 here. So just be careful if you're trading funds. Sometimes you're going to get that follow trade, I suppose. Or you know what, I'm going to stop using that you-know-what cat bounce. We'll call it the rubber band action, the snapback, or whatever other word I can use for it. Later I'll talk about John Deere, but it's not really moving a heck of a lot. But I'm going to come back to food too. Remember that 62.5? It just turned around. It's all the way back. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. Identify your out. Identify potential targets when you take a long position. But anyways, food 2 rolls all the way back into 60. Looks like it's maybe done on that long. Brendo?
Big mover yesterday, guys. We're seeing some follow through today for Under Armour on the upgrade. We saw it on the board this morning. 26.25 was the high from yesterday. So nice move again for UAA.
Okay, so look, man, we've been touting AMC for a long time, okay? We were waiting for it to dip down. Unfortunately, it just takes out that 42.50 that we wanted it to do, so we did punch the long there. Again, not a big position. We're going to see if it continues to ride up. We're going to average into this one 100%, man, 41, 41.50, something like that, but it is coming back to the downside right now. AMC, a good opportunity to average in to this name, but a big movement, 10% up here today for AMC, so we go congratulations to all of the apes, as apes are rising once again here for AMC, down to 41.20 or so as well. We'll try it. If we're going to be wrong, let's be wrong at the break of here, the pre-market bottom of 40.50, I guess, or so as a level of concern right there. So let's buy some of these dips on AMC back into here, 41.50, and then we'll see if we can't protect that bottom side. Otherwise, let's see how far we can go to the upside here for AMC, guys. We're long right here. Let's see where we go. What up, Brendo?
Just saw Beyond Meat there quickly, guys. Dick's Sporting Goods and Nike coming out this morning announcing a new collab on a membership. So I just saw Nike coming through there, 1.3%. Just took out that pre-market high for NKE.
So there was a clean break at 300. Now, obviously, like Zillow had popped in for me. I got the reload on Bed Bath & Beyond, which I make 50 cents on it. Then it breaks at 25 promptly. So, you know, obviously it's still catching a bit of bounce. But yeah, Avis breaks 300 clean. It goes to 293. Looks like it's still falling. Zillow, I'll ring the Reggie on a little bit here. It popped in. I wish I had the short on Sava in the same regard, but that never really set up and didn't give me the trade. And then you had the fail break at 76 on Zillow, and we're able to get a couple of legs in here at a 75.5 price. Look, you look at this support at 73.50 and then view up right here. Am I going to take some out in front of it pretty much every single time? As a matter of fact, I don't want to be... let's go up to like 85 or so and just sit a little bit more in front of that view up. Just want to make sure I'm catching profit on the way down here. So if it bounces off of this higher support or off this 73 support, I've taken some profit out, and if it comes this way all the way up, I can always reload. I probably want to reload closer to 75.5 if I get the chance. So, you know, sometimes it has to go up before it can come down. That was the case with Zillow here. And then, like we said, be careful with fund, because DWAC had made the move down. This fund coming all the way back into the bottom. The only long I got on right now is going to be SoFi on that break, SoFi on that break. It took some out at the quarters. Now it's headed to that 50 mark. So, you know, SoFi, big move. Great news getting into the Rivian. I think it was, like Brennan said, like 700,000 shares available for SoFi customers on that Rivian IPO next week. So that's fantastic news here. SoFi headed back to like 25 is a monster level on SoFi, right? So if it gets there in the next couple of days, there is right now 200,000 shares on the offer at 23.50. If you guys know anything about how I trade, well, didn't trade level 2. Sorry.
Go ahead. Look at AMD, guys, right now. $1.70 in the money on AMD. Like, we bought this again. We got out there. Now it's Rip City on AMD as the NASDAQ comes right back to life. So, hell yeah, we're making some cash here today on this name. So, a nice move up there for AMD. Just to give you guys an idea. Yeah, we can't look at a one day. I keep doing that for AMD. I got to edit that. But this is all-time highs right now, 129. So, we'll just keep on marching to the beat of our own drum here with AMD. Just some nice, I got it, I know. Some nice moves up to the upside here. 129 and change coming through for AMD. Ho-hum, just $1.50 winner. What's up, Brendo?
PI, 52% here so far, guys. Little one moving on a new collab with, there it is, new collab with him and hers, I saw over here. So Petros Pharmaceuticals, PTPI on the move.
Collabo. is what
Brandon
meant
just
to
said
say.
collab.
Dropping the collab on them right there.
So by the way, guys, I just covered my SoFi in front of 2350. There was a 200,000 share offer, and it's on SoFi, and it's actually now refreshing at this price level a couple of times here. So look, it's a 23 break. It's going to give you the quarters. It's going to give you the 50s. I'll hunt for a dip buy opportunity if I can get it. I got into Sava, and then one of these shorts is not going to work, and Cassava Science is breaking that 55. Now, of all of them, this is the one I said hard stop on, right? Like, I didn't want any piece of this thing if it was going to take out 55 even. Looks like that might have been the wrong call, but I'd rather walk away, take the paper cut, and then move on to the next trade. I still hold some of that Zillow in the U1. And CAR, wow, made a bit of a recovery back into 300, although you can see the trend is still back into the downside. The air coming out of this one a little bit. It still hasn't pushed through that fresh low that it made on the break of 300. That's 292.50. So if it tries to test 325 to this 330 area, I think that's not a bad zone to short in front of. Just remember, if it breaks any of these key offers, it can go absolutely crazy. I promise you that short interest has probably not budged. That's just a guess because people are going to have loaded up yesterday shorting this thing to make up for anyone that was covering in the first place.
And new all-time highs. AMD is in the building again. So we'll just keep watching that one. Okay, so AMC, I know everyone's yelling about GameStop. We'll look at that in a minute. I have the other one. So right now, we did take a piece out at 75 from our 50 long. I mean, that's where we're long. You can see 50 or 54 long right now. 42.80, it's bounced off there a couple times. Not sure. I don't know, like, why didn't it break there? So it's a little bit concerning to me. We are going to be buying some of these bottoms here, so I may get out another piece if it does come back up here, but I want to give this some room. You're only up 10%. I mean, we know that AMC can go a lot more than that. Will it today? Nobody knows, but if we're going to trade on patterns, we got to do that, right? And we got to try to make some decisions based on what we see here. So if you take a 20-minute chart, if I can zoom this out, hopefully it'll load back up so we can see what happened last week when it went crazy up here. So there's that 43. So this is what we are talking about with this area right. So there goes AMC, see a big drop right down. So we just got more shares. But this is an area right now of concern. We got to 43. We didn't break that last week. So why would we break it this week, right? So that's some of the thinking there. So we'll see where AMC goes. And you do have this bottom. When that broke, it was bad news. So that's that 39.50 that we talked about yesterday. I'm more interested in this break right here, 40.50 or 40.20 or so. So let's see what's happening. But there it is, a nice dip down there for AMC, allowing us to buy some more at 41.80. It cracks all the way to 41.20. Wow. But here we go. We're longer again and again. 129 right now. AMD has just been such a great name for us, and it continues to work, man. Big time movement here on AMD. $2 in the money now on this name.
Yeah, watch out for this GameStop. It's a big level on the daily chart here. This 232 wick top that it had. You got a 242, which was support to resistance back when it made the run or the pullback through 300, the break and the pullback through 300. So the fact that AMC turnaround might have something to do with GameStop reaching that level and pulling back in. If it takes it out, you have another one $10 higher. Yeah, by the way, that fund now back through, it's actually just made a fresh low. So fund just absolutely dying.
Good.
Bed Bath & Beyond is, I don't know if there's going to be a bid here. I mean, I tried this 22.50 level. We got 50 cents and we had the tight stop to get out. That ended up making some sense to me. Now it's all the way down to 21.50. If you're bottom picking at 20 even, that's about the only thing I can think of. And U1, which was a fantastic short all the way through, it gets to $7 when we shorted 7.75. It then breaks 8 even. If you can't beat them, join them. Just reverse long on an 8.06. I don't know if this has a dead cat bounce in it, but I said I'd stop saying that. Snapback trade in it. But I think, I wanted to short again at $9. So this is going to be a scalp all the way. 8.25, 8.50, every one of these levels, maybe even 8.15, I'd take it out. I just kind of feel like it was a meme stock before. This is absolutely horrible news, but when you get a bounce like this, it's pretty bullish that short that rolls over can't get past the first support at $7. So it tried, it couldn't do it. I'll take a shot at the long, but I'm scalping it out for sure. Brendo.
FGF, one that's been kind of going crazy the past couple of days, 2-3 days in a row here, just halted downside, gapped even further down, reopened, and then popped back up. But FGF buying the fresh and frozen bakery business from George Weston. So Canadian tie there for FGF, doing crazy volume today.
Yeah, shout out to Canada and George Weston. I actually worked for Weston Bakeries there at one point when I was trying to get my way through school. So that was fun. Okay. what are we looking at right now? AMD's $2 in the money. AMC is right there. Let's go back over to this. CAR, we can have a quick look at that. OCGN were a few other names that we had on our list. So we talked about CAR coming through to 300 again, and there it is, man. It just cracked. So, I actually cracked earlier. My bad. We actually cracked down to 290 there. I was thinking that a more reasonable area for this was around that 240 area. So we'll see what happens with CAR. By the way, AMC just took off again, so we did a nice little reload area. I thought I have an offer up here somewhere, but maybe I do not have an offer. 42.29 is my offer there. Oh wow, went to 28. That is unbelievable how often that can happen to me. But here it comes. Come on, just hit 28s now, so I don't look like a fool waiting, or 29s waiting for one more penny. But we'll maybe take a piece out here. Let's go, 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 go. AMC, a nice little win for us here. AMD still $2. Let's just watch AMC and see if we can't get this out.
Yeah, I mean, Zillow's trying to catch a bid here. I say trying. It's valiantly trying to break 73 here, or hold 73. So it's a couple of bucks in the money right now. Well, about 250 in the money or so. But if it breaks 73, I kind of think it could retest this 70 to 71 area on what we've already discussed was a bad report. Cassava Sciences, like I said, I would have a hard stop on this one. Had I gone with the area stop and not been a little bit more conservative with it, it's back down to 51. So Cassava Sciences sells off. But again, you have to have your rules and follow them. They saved me in Bed Bath & Beyond, but they definitely cost me over there in Sava, which did just roll over. Ocugen came all the way back. All the way back down to $14, now heading back up. So this stock remains completely insane. If it tries to put in a lower high, 18 is your new resistance point. And CAR, believe it or not, is trying to catch a bit of a bid here. Like, I'm not at the point yet where I think it can turn into another long trade, but it's getting pretty close. Like, if it doesn't press through the low in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I think there's going to be a buy opportunity here. I'd rather it breaking through a key level, like a 310 or a 305, but it's starting to get close. Like the sell volume, so the sell momentum is starting to drop off a little bit in Avis. Miss V, I think it was.
It was.
Hey Neil, Lucid Motors is running to the upside. Stock is up more than 2%. Do you guys see any opportunities for yourself in Lucid?
All right, great call there, Ms. V. And I will talk about Lucid in a minute. I just want to talk about Fisker because I think Fisker is going to go soon here through these highs yesterday, 80s. So if we get an 80 break there on FSR, we like that name here to break some of these highs right there, 1785. Yesterday's pre-market high on Fisker, a good movement. Wow, AMC just to give you guys an update, man. We've been getting out on this move upside. So now we're going to hold the rest. I don't even have any more offers out until 43.20. So if this can go upside, man, we are now a nice trade, man. $1. Well, I mean, we cashed out, but we were $1 in the money there on AMC off this last bid there, 41.80 as it rips up to 42.50 right now. So hey, let's call it like it is. It's 80 cents in the money right now on this name, and $2. Let's go AMD. Yes, I just wish we had more money in that name. Good thing I didn't. Remember I was going to switch out into Intel. We still may do that because this is now moving. But there's Lucid, Neil. 36 and change. I think we're waiting for 40, right?
Well, I mean, 40 is a monster level. I think it has trouble at 37.5 before it even gets to 40.
Oh, yes, it does.
And I'm saying that because, like, I was long yesterday on a break in Lucid when it caught a bit of a bottom. So it made that support level off that 35 that we talked about. It broke back out. I got 37s. It couldn't take VWAP. That's 37.5. So I'm thinking that's your level that could be a little bit of trouble. I decided to take a breakout on that U1, scalp some out, thinking to take the hit there. So I'm in and out of that one. The short, of course, was the better trade. Clearly, that sort of stands out there. But Lucid, I think it's going to be a bit of a fade if it gets to that 37.5. So I'm going to wait it out, sit it out, be very, very patient with that one. There was another name on our watch list, so I'm going to cover it because it's going crazy. And I don't think it's a very good day trading stock because I told the story about how I once got into an awesome short in this thing, and then the spread was just a problem. Lemonade, come on. Load. There you go. Lemonade, which, by the way, I'm a shareholder of. Again, it's making a run. It reports next week. They're getting into the auto. You can watch in our free watch list. You can go check it out. But they're going into the auto insurance business. Some automation there, but some of the traditional metrics they'll have to use. Just be careful because they are reporting next week, and you're not going to see. I don't know what level 2's not there, but you might not see the level of profitability that you'd be expecting, and you want to see the loss ratios improve from last report. And they're right into this resistance level at 82. Personally, I'm not ringing any registers because this is a long-term holding. And look what happened. And I got into this one probably early.
What are you doing?
I got into this one probably early, but for some of these, when you get a high-flying stock, you know, you can get out when it gets like 130, 140, and everyone's like, yeah, but it went to 190. Okay, but when it turned into an awesome short at this 150 level, it came all the way back into $50. And you wanted to see it put a higher low in. That's why I like the stock. But at the end of the day, no one ever went broke taking profit. So when you show charts like this, don't turn swings into long-term holdings. If you meant to hold it long-term, that's fine. But if you meant to swing stocks like these, then make sure you get out. I know I made that mistake with, you know, a few names last year that were pandemic buys. This one isn't one of those, but just try to be cautious when you get a high flyer. Brendo?
Activision Blizzard just popping back up above 66 once again there on a volume spike. So back to the upside, still down obviously significantly, but that 66 area was resistance there for the most part this morning so far, guys, for ATVI.
All right, so new position alert. We are into Fisker as it does take out that top. So let's go, man. Thanks for the shout out for Lucid, Miss V. But we had this Fisker order pegged and ready to go. So we'll see where it goes now. I mean, whatever. We're in the money 5 cents. We'll see if we take some out at 18. This has been a nice play for me, man. I mean, I'm going to get ready to get out, I think. I mean, I don't know, not soon, but soon enough. If Fisker can get to $20, man, then that's going to be an out for me. We've been buying this down here. I just love, there we go. Did we just get some? No, we didn't. Oh, 96. Where am I offering? Oh, we're literally offering 99. As here we go. Let's go. Bang. There it is. Yes, sir. We'll spin the money, money, money. Look, if we don't misstep there on Bed Bath & Beyond, then what kind of a day exactly are we having one more time? But we did, and we take, respect and blame for everything here. So if that goes, that's fine. We are still 35 cents in the money on AMC, which has been a good one for us, but maybe the move has stopped.
No,
now.
GameStop just broke the high, so I'm not sure.
So I don't know. We'll see if we can hold this, but we're trying to hold AMC, Neil. I mean, maybe GameStop.
It just broke out again.
I know, but how much is GameStop up? 13? Okay, 13. So this is up 9 right now. So I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I'm excited for both names, but I'm only into AMC. So we'll see. It did, we did take another piece out there at 57 or whatever that was. So now we'll see if it can climb. I still have a 43 offer, so maybe it does go parabolic here, and we're able to get some of that. There goes Fisker, by the way. Yes, sir. Feeling like Superman on that call.
So Giovanni, I see the IRTC with the, I guess it was earnings estimates. Well, maybe we'll go to Brendan in a quick second for that one. But at GameStop, I just want to remind everybody, when it broke that high, that 32, there is that 40 to 42 level. I guess on the daily chart, you can see it a little bit better, so I'll go over to the daily for you guys. On the daily chart, the last time it broke to this price range, 240 to 242 with resistance. That's the place where I would feel the most comfortable stepping into a short, which is what I'm going to likely do if it gets there. I mean, obviously, it's like $5 away. Zillow now has pressed through that 73, so I'm targeting the 70 to 71 for an out. And again, like there was multiple setups for that pop 930 and then failed break short. Sava set up and would have worked, but I had a hard stop there. Zillow, I decided to get not a hard stop because it was, I mean, at the end of the day, Sava, it was a short seller report. I hate getting caught on the wrong side of those, but Zillow was just awful news and awful earnings. A little bit more confident in playing the short side of the trade there than I was in Cassava Sciences. I don't know, man. I've seen so many times on day 1 or 2 after a short seller report, the stock catches a bid and traps you. So I'd rather not get cut off in one of those if I can avoid it. And there goes Carr. So I guess Avis trying to make that power move to the upside. It caught a bit of a bid here, it looks like. Now holding support above 3. I did not get a 305 break, so having missed that, I'm not going to chase this one too far. Brendo?
Yeah, a couple things to note on iRhythm Technologies. First off, they're reporting tomorrow for IRTC. Secondly, 28.9 million free float. There is a short percent as well of about 4 or 5%. But they just updated their current quarter expectations. So $1.10 per share loss expected, which is smaller than they had said originally, guys.
Right. So, I mean, look at what's happened to this stock. So this is a case of reporting. They get some good numbers. You have the short interest and the small float, and it runs. So, if you find one of these, man, and you get along in one of these bad boys and something like this, make sure you take your profit. Where does it go? It goes right to the most obvious support, 125. I mean, like, it goes right to that price, tries to break through and fails, and then starts to come back in. So look for these levels. A lot of times that's where people are looking to take their profit. And then what happens? It goes right into that level from the daily chart, pulls right back into VWAP. So, this is kind of one of those things where you want to make sure you're taking your profit and running. Back to Bed Bath & Beyond, if only because it just put in a high, well, it's attempting to put in a higher low here off of 21. This is your 21.50 to 60 area. If it can manage to successfully do that, maybe it's got a bit of a bid. That's the best I can do for you on that one. I want to be into Carr as my next trade. And if it can manage it, it just tested back from VWAP back into 300. If it can hold this 300 level, I think that can be a good go zone. But the problem here is, unless you're willing to, if you take a long, you got to be willing to risk either tight stop and get wicked out and then it runs for you. That's like a $5 stop if you got it here, or give it all the way down to that bottom. I prefer watching it bounce off at 3 even, or if it does bounce off 300 even, and then if it does that, getting it on the way back up through like a 302 or a 303. So I want to see support first at 300, and then I want to go long. I don't want to have this thing crashing through me. Zillow now $4 in the money, getting close to ringing the register on that one. Maybe another $1 or so, and we'll take it out.
Yeah, Zillow, that was a name that we had loved. I'm glad Neil's in that one. Okay, so Macy's, we tried one short, lost. Now we'll go back into this. Like, Brendan, Macy's up 9% today. New all-time high. There, we're going to get stopped out again. Macy's new all-time highs here. We tried the short. It doesn't look like that's going to be a good idea. There it goes. I mean, we're out of that again. We'll hold on to a very, very small piece of this. But, wow, Macy's starting to get accelerated. There we go. And we'll take that out on AMD right there at 129. So we'll spin that money as it comes all the way back down. We got a little nervous on that move. Out on that. Look at this, like 127.20 in, out 90 cents. That's 127.20 there, out 129. That's $1.80. Wow, this Macy's, like, how far up are we going to give this thing? This is gone, man. Like, Macy's, big time move to the upside right now. 21, 31. I don't even know where we're going to go. 31, 30 here. Straight up to the upside right now goes M. So, yeah, Macy's, what up? You just continue to make the move to the upside now. 31.50 and blasting. There's not even any liquidity here. Glad we got out of that short. Lost on it, but there it goes, man. Macy's off to the races. I think it's worth a short at some point. I just don't know if that point is right now.
Yeah, and of course, it bounces. So, Car, I keep wanting to say Carvana, but Avis, guys, it bounced off 300. It then comes back to the upside. I get not 302, I end up with 302.5, and then it's immediately retesting that level. So that 300, there's an iceberg there. And if it breaks, I just want to be out of it. I do think it can be you can play in either direction, but it needs to hold 300 for me to like it, like I just told you. I'm looking for something on Macy's. I mean, yeah, you know what? I don't have any, there's no levels to look at on Macy's. So, I mean, 35, 40. Like, that's what look how far you have to go back, and that's almost, if you have to go back too far, a lot of times that crap doesn't matter, so, almost forget about it here. If Macy's wants to make a turn, I'm talking even dollars or halts. Otherwise, let's get away from that one. Looks like, I feel like Zillow got really close there. And I just want to see, yeah, it's down to that 71.50 area, so it needs to chew through this, back down through 71, and then we'll get out. Avis just made another bounce here off of 300, so now twice Avis has managed to bounce off of 300. We're going long
BlackBerry as well.
And we'll see what happens. I mean, if it breaks up here, I can't take anything out till it gets to at least 310. So I'm looking $5 to $10 on the first leg out and risking about 3 or 4. Brendo?
Yeah, they seem to be rotating, it would appear anyways, through some of these names that have had higher short interest and interest from people looking for a higher short interest. Here's EXPR, now 10%. Guys.
AMC, yeah, we are getting excited now, boy. I hear Trader Pratt in the background. We are $1 and change now in the money on AMC. $1.15 now in the money on AMC as we just touched. That's that level we talked about right there, man. 43.50 just came in this spot right there. That's these levels we're talking about. We've had monster wins today and some big losers as well. That's why it's fun. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond was disaster. But there we go. We got out of our AMD. That was a nice one for $1.80. And now we're sitting in $1.30, $1.50 win or so on AMC as it just hit that level. I'm going to hold this just in case, but wow, AMC really got going there on a nice big candle there to the upside. Wow, just took out that 43.50. That was a level of concern, man. That was a level that we should have got in on right there. We should have maybe taken this out, but 43.50. Let's see if it continues to make moves now. Yeah, and by the way, Macy's still hovering around, man. We're short at 40 right now on Macy's. Let's see where we go there. And we stepped into BlackBerry. So we'll see now. There's a few names that are going. We know BlackBerry is a typical runner here on this news. So 11.95 there, a stopping spot for BlackBerry. We'll see how far that one wants to go down, but we're into that name right now.
So remember GameStop? So it breaks through that 242. There was no real stall at that price, so I didn't really see an entry point for that level. It breaks 245 up to that 250, like 246.5. So I'm going to take a shot here off of that recent high. I want to go area stop here, maybe give it to like 47 or so, because I think there's a second shot at maybe 250 or fail break at 250. But again, have ins, have outs, like the same way, like getting it out here. The same way that what saved me, except for the one time I missed a stop on car yesterday, was make sure you have an out. Now, it's going to turn around at some point. We all know that's going to be true. The question is whether it's going to be an even 250. What ended up being the case was a failed break yesterday, a failed break at 500, and then also a halt down. So those are two things you can really dig into. Otherwise, tight stops all the way through. Somehow 300 is still holding. I would have thought Avis would crash with these other ones going up, but it's now held 3 times at 300. There's an iceberg order there, but GameStop and AMC are now taking the attention away.
Yeah, 43.50 is back here. So as I said, you could take it out. We could take this out if we want, but instead we're going to hit the ape to see if we can go more here to the upside right now. 43.50 starting to go now for AMC. And like I said, man, we have been on AMC like all of these sticky notes. You can go back and look at the last 5 or 6 sticky notes. We talked about AMC long the whole time. So let's go, Trader Brad. We'll do some backflips up here. Nice little moves here. I'm sure he's long. I'm long this name as well. Neil's got GameStop up. We're looking at that. Look at BlackBerry right now up to 1237, 1240, 1250. Really not too many levels here unless you get to 13. So right now, BlackBerry upside will take a piece off right now. AMC $2 now in the money. And Fisker as well. Beautiful move upside for Fisker today for us. So yeah, it's been a good day. We stepped up by shorting Bed Bath & Beyond, which of course is like the ultimate meme stock sometimes. And today it comes right back to the downside. So that was a mistake, but everything else is cash money. We're going to go over now. That board looks new, but I feel like it's not that new, but maybe it's just, I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, let's go over to the board with Brendo. That board's new or I'm just crazy?
It wouldn't refresh this morning. That's why. Yeah, so we're down a bit, but same thing. S&P, guys, 0.15 to the downside. The NASDAQ, both the composite and the 100, back in negative territory, only just. So we'll see. The Dow about 0.25% to the downside as well. Russell, small caps showing some strength at this point. The TSX here in Toronto flat so far. But remember, Fed this afternoon. So overall, the market kind of holding its breath and waiting for that, I feel. ATVI, one we were talking about in the pre-market, yeah, I mentioned it, got back above 66, coming back in again, trying to hold 66 there, not really doing a heck of a lot. Zillow, on the other hand, did test this high from the pre-market, 75.5, right back to 70, guys, for Zed. Back over to you.
So there was a bit of a fail break here at that 250 level. So remember what I said about GameStop? It's like either it's going to be even dollars or it's going to be fail breaks. It breaks 250, can't get to that 55, comes back down through to short through that price at essentially 49. I scalped some out at the original 45 level for about $3 to just make back what we took on that first hit. And then you'll see what happens with it, right? Like every single time I get in, like when you go to a higher time frame, I kind of want these to look like in and out at the same price, right? Like you don't want to have a big gap in between when you go to like a 15-minute chart. That's my goal. So if it breaks 350, I want to be out of this and then hunting for the next price move. So again, like this is, for me, I'm not longing any of these. The reason why I don't long up here on a move like this, you're up $40, and if you can structure a good long trade, risk to reward, go for it, man. I just can never find a way to do that, but I can find ways to structure short trades that either have me scalping wins out, taking minimal hits until the turn comes, and when it does, you're talking $20, $30, $40 worth of a move. So that's what I'm going to look at. The only thing I'm holding is this Zillow, because it just feels like, yeah, it's continuing to flush down, so I think you're going to get that $5. So we'll wait for the next turn. I actually think, reasonably speaking, 275 is certainly possible. After this 250 break, this is what you're looking at for significant levels on GameStop, right? I don't know what AMC looks like, but GameStop certainly has some air to 300, which seems crazy, but if it gets there, that's going to be a God mode opportunity short, just like you saw in car yesterday. Yeah,
we took out some bids here on as we went back into the short, obviously on Macy's. So we almost made it all back. It stopped at 31, which was a problem. We have a bid at 31.10, so I actually stopped at 31. So that's at 31.15. So hopefully it can continue to go to the downside. And we have that bid now at 31.11 coming in now. So we're short Macy's 40s here on this play. So we'll see where it goes from here. But hoping that a flush comes through sooner rather than later. All right, AMC got real spicy up there to 44. So that may just be worth taking that out. It's sort of meme day here today, as a lot of these meme stocks have been going nuts. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. We did empty out a lot of our Best Buy, our BlackBerry there as a goes up to 1240. This is not a name. This is just a name that I like because of the meme situation. If you don't like the company, I don't like really anything that they're doing. So, BlackBerry right now it's been a good. I shouldn't say that. I mean, look, they've been off the bottom here. This $9 is such a great level. I mean, maybe if you want to get some tech companies that are trying to spin it around, BlackBerry may be a good play, but I'm only in this for the meme. So right now we'll see where it goes. Fisker almost back to highs right here. So we'll see if we can get, I do have an offer. Let me just double check before I go to Brendan. We have an offer at 07 right here, right at these highs. So we'll see about Fisker, man. It's been a damn good day here today so far. One step up, and that was Bed Bath & Beyond, which continues to make a move to the downside. But hey, man, a $2 winner on AMD sort of helps that play. What's up, Brendo?
Speaking of meme stocks and short interest, guys, we talked about that Dick's Sporting Good deal with Nike. They're combining their membership to give access to both sides. DKS with a 12.72% short interest here, having a day as well, 7.5% so far.
I don't know how big that is. We'll ring the register up. Jude, I'm sort of with you there when you're talking about Zillow short. I didn't want to catching a bounce off that low, so the entire time the intention was to take it out between the 70 and 71 areas we mentioned before. So I just got out at 70, 77. I parked a bit in front of that 75. So it does give you the $5 move to the downside. If it bounced off 70, fair enough. I don't know how much I'd like revisiting that trade at 76. That would be one heck of a bullish bounce if it manages to get there. I don't think it's going to. I always say you have to have an out. So whether or not, load. Thank you. Whether or not, GameStop could come back to 235. But for me, when I take the retest of that 250, it's going to give you the first win. I'm not stopping at the high of the day because I kind of usually feel like if it's going to break back above 250, it's going to make a fresh high. It does that and then pulls right back into that 245, which is turning into support. So if I just sit there and hold or average into it, would I be in the money? Yes. Would that make sense? No, because the downside of that action is what happened in Avis yesterday, where if you just keep averaging into it, you're just taking one gigantic hit instead of small paper cuts. Now, GameStop seems to be trying to run out of steam, but there is some significant buying going on at that 245 level, so that does bear watching. Now, it looks like the air comes all the way. If you're going to get a move upside in these other names, then there's almost no chance, and this is what you're seeing here, for Bed Bath & Beyond, right? This is the one that gapped up and then died. I just can't see it catching a bid here while all the other ones are running, because that's where the money is. All the buy money went into AMC and whatever else, GameStop and whatever else is running, and it was already coming out of Bed Bath & Beyond. So until those slow down, I think there's almost no chance that Bed Bath & Beyond catches any kind of a significant bounce.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't mind on Bed Bath & Beyond, some of these levels here, but, again, it's our only negative stock on the day, and we're absolutely crushing everything else. So do we even want to go back to it? But 2180 right there could be a spot for Bed Bath & Beyond. What else are we supposed to do here? I mean, money. Beautiful, Randy.
Oh, Randy
so
with
much.
the Timbits.
My main man there, Randy, coming through with some
That's
Timbits.
a problem.
But what we're talking about right now is AMC. As Randy there, yeah, we'll put these here. We will. Thank you, Randy, for those. QSR is the stock. Okay, so BlackBerry running, AMC, that's what we're talking about, distracted by Timbits. Straight up to the upside, man, $44. We have this, man. AMC Army is in the building. We still have this long. I hope you guys do too. I see some talk there that people have cashed out on their options and things like that. A nice move.
There's the flush.
Up to 44, so watch out now as GameStop coming back in. Yeah, AMC does drop off that $44 level, so watch out here as this is still going ape right now. We'll see about AMC going back to the upside here. We'll see, but that 44 just flushed.
Yeah, that 44 definitely flushed. I was just looking at that GFI, whatever. Forget about that stock. GameStop, we'll come back to it just because it did that move. Look, I had my reasons for getting out, and again, you have to follow your rules, but it just popped down, broke that 245 buyer, and pops into 240. So it looks like it is a failed 250 break that does it in, but it took 2 cracks at it, and that was too much for me. I don't know how much AMC is following it, but if this comes back to a 225, a couple of things. One, I think maybe Bed Bath & Beyond can catch a bit of a bounce. We'll see if that happens. Otherwise, just watch out for some of these other meme names. Looking at Avis, which is crazy. I don't know, I tried the bounce one time on Avis here. Oh, God, this is going to be annoying. One time on Avis, I said I'd go with a tight stop. And it's a really tight stop, but that's what I preferred. I could have held it and then just lost an extra $4 or $5. I opted not to do that. So I'm not going to trade this thing until it starts really going. This is not, compared to yesterday's action, I think you're best off waiting for it to actually go somewhere and then tracking.
The shorting is in the building right now. As check out Macy's. Adios, amigos. As it comes back down to the downside right now, goes our friend and your friend, everybody's friend right now. Macy's down to the downside right here. As yeah, nice move, man. We're still short right there, 31.50. Downside, we just got that 87 bid now. We'll see where we go from here, but it looks like AMC trying to bring it, or AMC, Macy's trying to come back down to the downside. This AMC, man, I don't know. I almost put an offer there at 43.80. I think we should do that. It's just, it's tipped up too many times here. So 43.70 or so on AMC, we could take that out. We were $2.50 or so in the money at that peak, but now you can see it's coming back in. So let's do a 43.80. We may regret that, but hey, man, we're putting money in our pocket today, baby. So that's going to be a good one. Oh, what's up now, Macy's? Look at this move, guys. Yes, sir. We are feeling like slaying some dragons around here as the shorts are coming in. Yo, what up, Randy? Take one, take two, take three. Why not do that as we go back up to the upside here? Going, man. What a great day this has been for Macy's, man. Ride with us, and hopefully you'll be okay. One misstep on Bed Bath & Beyond, and I may get back into that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about Bed Bath & Beyond. If you can't catch a bounce there, I don't know where that bounce is going to be. Ocugen, by the way, did catch a double bottom here at 14.25. Just remember how quickly the bottom comes out of this stock when it finds a support level. But either way, it bounces one more time, and it could have a bit of a leg. It's actually down on the session now, 3.5%, which is kind of crazy. In its first break, there's GameStop, and look, I thought it was going to be a fail break around there at 250. Ends up being true, but you either get the trade or you don't. I had it on, I took it out. I'll take the hit on it a couple of times in the short. We did have one scalp for a win, but it's bouncing off VWAP here at 235. If it puts in a lower high, and I think that's maybe around that 245 where the buyer was and cannot chew through 250 again, that is going to set up for a bit of a short again at that same price, so 245-ish. Now you're finally getting a move, I think, in CAR. So like I said, wait for CAR to make a move and then go over to it. So here it goes, popping into this 315 area second time and rejecting. So now it's starting to set up for a 315 breakout. Haven't been really a breakout trade yet. As long as it puts in a higher low, 315 is going to be your breakout price on CAR. I think shorts are probably in that 35 range, 50s. We had the 60 level, which was yesterday. But until it makes a bigger move and you can break a second level here, I think you'll want to stay away from it and get into something that actually is going. So much for that bounce on GameStop. If it comes back to 45, it's interesting. But down here, I'm not going to touch it.
So some Tesla and Uber news here as Tesla and Uber's adding some Teslas to their fleet. So no surprise there for Uber down to 45. We'll see if this is having any effect right now on Tesla let's see, I mean, like Elon said, man, I mean, supply, and like, you know, there's no problem here with demand. They just got to meet some of these orders. So we'll see what happens here with Tesla and Uber, Brendo.
Yeah, that was in London. Remember the Hertz, part of the Hertz deal was tie-in with Uber as well for drivers. Nordstrom's also getting some Bed Bath & Beyond love today. So we mentioned Macy's there, but JWN also 5.6%.
Yeah, ring the register on Nordstrom if it's going to go today. Well, on that Macy's love. SoFi got all the way up to 23.50.
Yes.
Pulls back to 23. So there was a reload while all this other craziness was going on. I didn't get the reload, missed it because I was looking at other things. But that's a clean 50-cent range. We've seen this story before on SoFi where it puts in that double top around this time of the day and you get a secondary breakout. This is your daily, guys. 25 is a monster level. I didn't think it was going to get there today, but guess what? If it breaks 23.50, doing the same thing we did before to 75 and then to 24 even, and then maybe just rinse and repeat over and over again. So SoFi back on the radar. Went 1 for 1 on it, but certainly had a chance to already have gone 2 for 2. Just because you get out for a winning trade in the stock, revisit some of those levels. When it finds support at the same price you liked before, well, maybe it's worth a re-entry. That's one thing I definitely should have done. And Cassava Sciences. So, I mean, all in all, now this looks a heck of a lot better getting out of the short, but that doesn't matter. Like, it would have been a winning trade for a couple of dollars if I hold on to it. It's just broken out and gone $7. I can almost never get behind going long in Cassava Sciences, and they just got a short seller report, but that's what I meant by saying do not get caught on the back end of a day one after the short seller report, because if it pops and goes too far, the short could be trapped. Now you got the 200 period at $61 here. You do have a bit of a resistance level on the daily chart at that price. You look back to when it popped in yesterday's action, and you had a resistance at about 63. So 61 to 63 seems like the level for me where it's going to be a short again. I just can't you know, like Sava to me is a very, very tricky long every time you take it, and up here it's even trickier. So another runner here, Cassava Sciences. I'm glad I got away from this, otherwise I could have been burned bad.
Yeah, real bad. ATVI, SoFi, yeah, good call there on SoFi. I just put an order to get out of some of my SoFi in my swing account because we are pretty long on this name down near $17. So I was not expecting this kind of a move up here for SoFi so fast. I mean, this just rallied like crazy. We initially started to buy on this dip and we thought we were in trouble. Like this dip we bought on this green day thinking it was going to rally. It does rally for us, but then it just continues to tank. So that's 18, 19. Then we bought some more in here, 15, 16. I did not get the bottom on SoFi, but you know, my average price, I just looked at 1740 something. So now that we're up to 2350, we are going to ring the register on some SoFi right now as that continues to make money for us upside 2350. I don't know. I like the name and I like everything about it, but you already know I'm already dug into PaySafe right now, so we'll switch some of that out, that money out as we look at Macy's still going to the downside. Okay, SNDL. Oh yeah. I don't know why. I guess we talked about this yesterday and this morning, and there was some votes happening. There was some mayoral races, some governor races, and things like that down south. You guys should know about it. But, you know, I don't know, some marijuana names running today. So we'll find out what CGC did have. Oh, that's the daily charts. We don't want to look at that. That makes me want to throw up. But here you go, CGC. I think you got to rotate all your cash into some of these names if you don't want to get the MSOs. So multi-state operators, like a TrueLeave. I'm into that name. That's been my biggest winner in the cannabis space by far. TRUL. We did have Grow Generation brands for a while. We're out of that one. That one may need to get re-looked at right now. But here goes CGC, a nice bump up there. Maybe Brendan can find this, you know, stock-specific news, but I think it's the whole sector. Let's just check out Tilray.
Squeeze thing, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Every time these marijuana, that's still CGC, still Tilray. So CGC, yeah. So Tilray up even more. So a nice little move upside there. I still say sell all these pops. I'm holding the bag way too much, so I won't be selling any of these pops. And really, it doesn't really matter too much to me. But if you had been buying some of these dips on some of these weed names. Like, I mean, you can't. I mean, what could be your best price on this? $10.20, and now it's at $10.90. No, man, you don't buy marijuana stocks to get out for $1 because I mean, some of these moves can be accelerated huge or downside. So Neil's saying bye-bye to something. Is that Zillow?
No, I mean, honestly, like I'd seen people talking about Sundial, and I was like, oh, I guess it might be moving today because there's squeezes and then the cannabis names moving. And then you just reminded me that I was going to go back to look at it because there was a level. You look all the last 2 weeks, and you can see about 68 cents is a spike level on Sundial. Well, it goes right up to 67.5, and then makes a bit of a turn. So thank you for the reminder. But I had looked at it earlier and didn't bring it up. I am now shorted in front of 68. I like it. I'm going to hang on to it. Sava, by the way, as I was talking about that 63 area, goes to 62.75 and then drops $3. So I should have shut up and just taken the position instead of sort of letting you know. As it was going up, I was like, yeah, this is a level, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get my order out, so I ended up missing it, trying to catch it on the way back down. I don't know if I'd take it if it goes up there a second time. If it goes the second time, it's likely to break it. So I might have missed that first opportunity on that short on Sava. But we're not going to miss going to Brendan because it's time for Small Cap Recap.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning. Let's talk about some small caps. Funware starting to go back to the upside here. It's really not doing much. There's attention elsewhere, obviously. So stuck in a range. There's definitely a buyer, 425, 430, which corresponds with these support areas from yesterday after we got that big move to the upside. But I adjusted this up a bit, 465, just based off that rejection. So 465, 480. Which is these rejection points for PHUN. Again, kind of just stuck in the middle. We'll see what happens with PHUN. GFAI gave you that same kind of fade as it did last week when this initially popped up. 280 and then 290 was that level. Never came into play, obviously. We're all the way back down for GFAI. And then OCGN, the way this got rejected out of the gate this morning at the open through 16, there was heavy selling. You can see monster volume came in through 16. So that was enough to get me involved down to 14, guys, for OCGN. Back over to you.
Where's that?
Wow, that Bed Bath & Beyond, now $21. Wow, glad we got the heck out of Dodge on that play right there, guys. So that's a yucky one. My bad completely on that. Like, I was thinking completely opposite there for that play. But not my bad for Macy's, as that's now 70 cents in the money. Look, I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be a nasty hit for us today, so not much happening there. PaySafe still 7 and change. SoFi, Neil, you just talked about that. That's ripping to the high side. Hopefully we get out of our position, some of our position anyways. Uber making some moves. Ooh, QS too, QuantumScape. You know, a name that we were long at 40. We got out on that short seller report on that name. Obviously, we talked about that a little bit here as well. And then now QuantumScape today making another move, man, up that 6 and 7%. This has been a beast off the bottom, man. $20, not even too long ago, 23. Now back up. It looks like QuantumScape wants to take some of this out. This is solid state battery play, guys. So, you know, again, they did have an initial investment from Volkswagen on this play. So we'll see. We'll see. I still think that they're a bio candidate. That has to come through, though, first, and then we'll work on it from there. But I do like them. We'll wait to see what's happening with said company. AMC. Look, man, we got carried away. It's a good name. We're up on the name, obviously, today, but there it comes, man, fading right back in. Neil talked about giving up on that GameStop short, which sucks. Yeah, I know. And now, I mean, look, I can just tell. I don't even have to look at GameStop, which I haven't today, but I can see, well, I've looked at it in relation to AMC, but you could see now this is starting to fall back down, and maybe we're trying to pick up a little bit of a bottom here. Let's try to go long one more time here on AMC.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Somehow, this is a very weird thing to say, but there was like the top on Avis, was easier in some ways than the top on GameStop, which is, it seems weird to say that, but that's actually ended up being true. It comes all the way back, so there's no trade for me again to be able to get into it. I did get SoFi. Now, I don't know, like maybe I'll check back at some point. Maybe I made a keystroke or messed up my stop order, because I think I could have got 52 or 53. I ended up, after it broke, I ended up getting an average of 55. So I pay a couple of extra cents, I think, by having a bad stop order in. Maybe put the wrong gateway or something like that. But either way, it just got to 65 and then turn around. So I'm going to stick it on the offer there, and then the 23.75. This is like the third push. I get the fourth push because it was a consolidation break at the open, then the 23 even break, then there was the pullback to 23. This is like the fourth salvo, even though it's only my second trade. So you got to keep that in mind as it continues to go higher, that it's running into some resistance. I see Robinhood popped up as well. Not a lot. I mean, 4% is, 5% is not a bad move. Like, what kind of a market are we in when I'm just sort of saying it didn't pop up a lot and it's a 5% move? That's a good move. But I feel like it's just a little bit more to do with some of these bottom pick names catching bids. Now, this is different because it's not like you're super heavy short. This never ended up Robinhood never ended up breaking that IPO low at 33.25, which would have made sense to me if it had, but it didn't do that off of their first bad report, and now you're going to get a consolidation break up. So this is at least a little bit more technical, breaking through this 36.650 area. If it can sustain this, maybe it does make a bit of a bounce. Anytime you hold level like that, there can be some juice to it. Although right now it feels to me like it's more to do with, just getting caught up with some of these runners. Brendo?
Interesting look from Miss Wood at ARC. Guys picking up 288,000 shares of Zillow yesterday, it would appear, on maybe this spike down, I guess, on earnings. But day lows coming here for Zed.
Wow.
Wow, Kathy Wood. Bought it yesterday? Really, Kathy? I just bought it today.
On the dip, maybe.
And right now,
Maybe
we'll go cash cow here because, I don't know what she's doing. Whatever. She knows what she's doing more than I do me, maybe. So right there, guys, 71. We're long at 70.96 right now on Zillow Group, 50 cents in the money. We're going to see if it can retrace back a little bit now. And again, nothing to do with Kathy Wood. Obviously, me going long here. I'm just looking at this drop. I mean, it came back down. We talked about 70. I mean, it's even in my note today that we'd look at 70, right? We'll see. I mean, again, if you have the sticky note here, it says literally, let's see if 70 holds. So let's see. So we'll go long now and we'll see if it holds. So that's going to be that play right now. All right, so we did cash out of Macy's, a big trade for us. But the problem, we're still in it. That's the problem, is we didn't cash out of everything. So we're noticing here that a stop there on that volume weighted average price. Maybe there is a move back to the upside right now. So on other news, we did take AMC longer again right here at 42.20 as it's bouncing around a little bit here. We'll see about out AMC. I want to put some more trades, some more shares on if we get back down in here to 41.60 or so. But that's going to be a play that we're looking at right now on AMC, breaking back down into this level, 41.40, 41.20. And then honestly, like if we break 40.50, something like that, some of these pre-market lows, then we can step out. But for right now, we'll average into this AMC trade. We'll see if we can get some out around 43. If it pops again, I mean, we'll take that. Why not? We'll take another dollar on this name. We should do that. But if it comes to 43, that's going to be my target right now. Fisker still rocking and rolling. And then this is coming out at 12, I believe, as BlackBerry wasn't that bad for us, really, but it's coming down to some areas now where we're bouncing. So let's average in one more time to BlackBerry and then see what happens.
So Daryl, good look. If you got that Sava long 57, you're saying on a break, that's a pre-market high. Taking profit made sense to me. Like I said, I mean 63 when I pulled it back and started to look at the higher time frame, that just seemed to be the turn. I didn't get it, obviously, as you can see. Otherwise, I'd be short. I only had the short from earlier. I just took my first leg out of sundial, which I might be in sundial for a while, but I just took a little bit out in front of 66.5. That's right here at VWAP. So take more in front of 66, and then 65.5 and 65. And if 65 breaks, maybe it goes all the way down to like 60 to 62. We'll see. Brendo again.
I saw this earlier, guys, but I kind of shrugged it off because the stock wasn't doing much. But Coinbase testing a subscription service with zero trading fees and prioritized support. Again, that was out about a half an hour ago, but a bit of a delayed reaction here. We're back to positive now, trying to get higher for Coin as well.
Where is that?
That's pretty interesting here because I actually don't mind that play. Whoa, Zillow now $1 in the money. Zillow making some big time money moves right now, and we'll just shake it off. Zillow seems to be doing that right now, just continuing to go right back up to the upside. Holla! I know Neil took a big win on this one too. Let's see if we can do it on the way up this time. Breaking through 72. Let's see if we have this play right now going long on that 70 note as we talked about that on said sticky note. Let's see if we can continue to make some money to the upside right here with Zillow. I don't have really a target. I mean, it's just breaking now. If we can get to VWAP, something like that, then that should be good. Even some of these levels like 73 and change, we'll take a $3 win on this if it will come through for us. But right now we do have that Zillow long. We have AMC long. Fisker came all the way back in. We only have a third of this name left. So if this cracks below 1780, we're gone on Fisker. I don't want to average in, man. It was part of that bump up. So we don't want to take this and then get rid of it. Because if we take this average right now, I guess we can take it. But I'm going to hold on to it. And then honestly, Fisker's been on such a nice little run here. And I do have to get some shares out. Look at this run on Fisker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days up, starting at $14.50 all the way to $18. So yeah, hell yeah, celebrating that is a good name, a good day here for Fisker. So let's not average in. We'll get out if it breaks that 1780 though.
And I was just looking at that Coinbase, man. I don't see anything obvious. I mean, you're going to look at this level on the 1 minute and see like a 336 potential break because it's sold out there a couple of times, but the volume not necessarily behind it. I mean, obvious is going to be breaking out like at 350, at 345, 350, which is a ways away here. The current high sits at 340, and you'll see the same thing when you look at the 15-minute chart here. You're kind of putting in a weird little head and shoulders pattern. So unless you're breaking back above 40, 45, 50, it just sort of feels like it found some support off of a couple of days ago. It's kind of a key level of 28 and a positive headline dragged it higher. So I don't know. I just can't dig into that one. I almost don't want to look at. I'm not going to look at SI because that's just going to make me mad. But that's probably like 210 or something nonsensical like that. GameStop is holding below VWAP here, so there's still no pop in it. Although I did just see Bed Bath & Beyond make a bit of a move. Yeah, and by a bit, like it got off 2050 and back through 21. So, like this big wick down here took you down to 21.20. It's now above that price, so it feels like it's trying to put in a bit of a bid here. I'd rather see it maybe retest the low, fail to break it, and then I have more confidence in this one because it's been such a dog all morning. But maybe it's here. I'm not going to go into it just yet. I just got SoFi and Sundial. Brendo again.
There was a time, guys, when cruise line earnings were great trades. No longer, however. Norwegian reported, the earnings report not good. They lost $2.17 per share. The conference call is on now, though, so this is happening during the call. So they're, I guess, trying to talk it back up to where we were yesterday for NCLH. It's 10:30. That means there's not 1 but 2 hours because of the time change left in the European session. Miss V is watching. What's going on over there? What's up?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are mixed, and Fed's upcoming meeting is in focus. Vast As Wind Solutions trading in Denmark is down more than 15% after missing third quarter earnings expectations and cutting its profit outlook. Back to you.
Yeah, pretty flat for North America here as well. 0.12 to the downside for the S&P guys ahead of the Fed. Again, 2 p.m. this afternoon. The Russell, however, 1.08% higher. Go figure.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
I can see the Russell being higher.
Yeah, I mean, the Russell's been holding. It's a good day for Russell for sure. Or, I mean, bad day, but I mean, Russell's been also at its all-time highs as well. So, you know, big movements happening all over Z Place today. So, yeah, let's just keep on going here, guys. We're super happy with today's trading here. Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, that's right. I didn't even have any. Don't take those away from me. I'm going to have one first. I forgot about those. Thank you, Randy, for that.
Let's try Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. We are now $2 in the money and feeling like Superman on this Zillow call, man. I mean, there it is right there. We waited for this to drop down. We talked about that. They can't see that play there, but Randy's sneaking in there. Thank you, Randy. I mean, you know, take them all. I mean, great. Thank you so much for that, Randy. But there goes Zillow right now to the upside. We talked about waiting for 70. There's 72.50, man. We have another $1.55 win on this name. We have 55 cents here on Macy's, as that's just kind of barcoding right now. And let's go. Here we go again. Here we go on AMC. So let's just keep on coming in with the cash flying through right now, up to 43 and change. We do have an offer right here on AMC, 42.97. Come on, AMC. You can do it. Another 70-cent winner on board right now for this name. So let's go AMC to the upside. We like this name. We're in it. Again, 60 cents in the money again. We're right at this level. Maybe we should get some out. What is that? 42.70? I mean, here we go. We're waiting at 43, so we'll see about that. I may take one more piece out and then let the rest fly. But wow, that was a good reload down there at 42 bucks.
And I remember I said Robinhood, it just kind of felt like it was getting swept up. Now, it's a good break technically, but it puts in a lower high here. Sorry, a higher low, trying to retest that top. What I like about this level is you have a 36.83 top. If it breaks this, you'll have some people looking at a double top breakout long, and then you've got a 37 level as well. So it can get through this, fails at 37, then becomes an add to the position, and it's probably trapped a few longs. They're taking that bit of a breakout trade. So now into Robinhood, add that one to the list. And look, I took some out of Sundial. SoFi, the first trade was good. The second trade, we just took some on the bounce. Should have gotten some out there, obviously, when it got to that 65 level, but it just bounced off VWAP. So again, it's putting in some lower highs here. I'm going to pick some up on that. And if it gets back to that 50 to 65 area, I can now scalp some of it out in that range. So keep SoFi on the list, add Robinhood to the south side. I just keep checking back on GameStop, and if it does something, we'll get to it. I just, you know, it can't really seem to catch a bid, but one that, well, there's probably a segue I could have said there. U1 did catch a bid. Now, I had a long reversal. That was kind of a muted success. The best short was the first one. It's now back up after bouncing VWAP and trying to take out the offer here. If it does chew through this 820, I still like the notion of that 9 short from earlier, but I'm waiting for it to break out and get to that price. I'm not jumping in too early on this one. It's already down 28%, right? So, and it's catching a bit of a bid, so got to be patient with the short entry. Brendan.
Desktop Metal, we've talked about the past couple of days here, having another day, 2 or 3 days in a row for DM. Remember, this is a company that makes components for semiconductors or semiconductor chips. So back to the upside after they said they were expanding their manufacturing capacity earlier in the week for DM.
Yeah, Desktop Metal, that's one that we definitely remember there. I'm just going to come back briefly to double check on Lemonade. Was on our watch list. They report next week. Keep that in mind with the positive news today. I think that's why it gets sold off a little bit here. People are going to ring the register on it that maybe had a short-term play and aren't thinking that this is going to sustain too far and don't want to take the risk off. And that's one thing you have to concern yourself with. Lyft, it felt like it was too far too fast. But again, you have to have a setup, and to me, it was a short off of that 53 area. It popped up, and I said this stock is really illiquid at times off of the open. You see it come up to like 52.5, not really enough for me. And I was trading, of course, in a lot of other names at the time, and then it drops precipitously. I think that could give a buy opportunity in Uber, but I'm not a big fan of buying in front of earnings, as you guys know. I think that's a little bit of a risky game. Ocugen has now double bottom and consolidation lower. If it can get back through 15, I think it can be a little bit of a long trade, give it to the more recent low. If it pops any lower than this, your 14.25 is going to be your bounce price. And then Robinhood, like I just said, it can now take out the top. sort of failed to push any higher. Like, it obviously didn't even go close to 37 there. It took the high, got about 3 pennies, and then rejected. So I can take another entry point if it gets down to like, through 70 even. And then even again, if it breaks the high and fails to get through 37, it can be one last entry. So I do like the Robinhood. It's up 5%. Fair enough. It's got a bit of a bounce here. It's a bit of a breakout off of this level, but it has yet to really push through that, I guess, the gap down high. So after they had the bad earnings report, this is essentially your high. If it fails to break out from here, I think even a modest retracement is going to be good enough for it. And the risk to reward just sits pretty nicely for me here. If it gets down to VWAP, you're talking 70 pennies and you're risking about 25 to 30 in the absolute worst case scenario. So that sets up well for me in Robinhood. So we're going to take it like we just did. And there is your low of the day on Avis. Finally broke. This thing finally breaks a level. Like, it's about time. It actually broke through 290. But it's not actually cratering. It's coming down slowly. It's not the price action I was expecting on Avis today. I really did think it would be a little bit more abrupt. But there's been like these small rollover shorts, and you could have got into these, and then it won't really pop up. I'm going to cancel that breakout because I don't want that long after it took out the low. Just grinding to the downside very, very slowly here on Avis.
Yeah, what a good out that was on AMC there. I mean, it's coming back into a possible reload section. It's just, how crazy. Yeah, there it is, Zillow. So we just take out the $2 there. And oops, that's not the right symbol for Zillow. Unplugged. It just breaks VWAP there, and we got out. So that was that break. We actually got out at 79, I believe the fill was. Yeah, 79. So hopefully a good fill. We'll see. But there's that $2. We just took that clean. It does go up to 73.50 there. Letting it do its little bit of a dance. But now we'll take this name to the downside. And Macy's still looking to cover that one as well, as we're trying to break this. I don't even have any bids. That's a lie. I have a bid at 30.45 right here. So we have a bid into here. If Macy's does want to break that play, we'll take that. But right now, I mean, it's been a hugely successful day if I can just somehow forget the first 10 minutes when Bed Bath & Beyond just kept cratering. Thank God we had some of our plays out of there, so we didn't have to really absorb most of this hit. But right there comes down to the downside. We'll see if it can take out this 22. Maybe we go long again right around there. AMC just comes in. It fills us at this level. So we said we'd look at one more shot here. If we break that back down below 40, I just didn't want to take the shot in here. So we'll take it down here at 41. Where was my fill? 80? 41.70. So we take that fill rate. I mean, the same fill we had before. We had 80 before. Now we'll take 70 this time into this trouble area, and then we will drop this if it does get near 41, 40, even 41.20 is a little bit of a problem here. So, we're not going to give our earnings back on this, so we're not going to let this fall because we've only taken, each one of these, it's adding up. I mean, you could see on the board, it's definitely adding up. But right now we're back into the money. We just took a nice little bid there. Let's see if we can get some more out. If we come back to VWAP, we'll do that again. But AMC on a dip buy.
Yeah, I see a couple people in Daryl. Good look on Avis, because if you can find yourself a setup, you go for it, right? And I was sitting there trying to figure out what trade I liked, and I end up with a tight stop long. It doesn't work out, but I think you were saying 306 short area, sort of giving it back into 316. Now, I don't know whether you had it here, that's 306 short to here, and that's fine, or you had it here and then cover at 290. But either one of those worked, because I think that's why I was kind of thinking breakout at that price. And it looks like an obvious resistance area, so good for you. You got to structure a trade, right? And if you find the structure, that's fantastic. I just noticed Upstart now because someone was mentioning it to me here as a place to dip by. I'm assuming it's like a long term that you'd be thinking about that. The trend is still pretty good. My concern with Upstart is what actually happens, because if you look at the most recent support level, that's going to now be right above the 50 period, which it hasn't sniffed it at any point in this breakout the last few months here. And I kind of feel like when it does and it breaks through, it could start to get ugly for it again, just because it's come so far. And on top of that, remember what day today is? This is still Fed possible taper day, which puts some of these higher flyer names at a little bit more risk of a move in the afternoon. So all of that leads me to just be cautious. Maybe a firm would be the same kind of thing. There's going to be a lot of them like this, but I look at that 50 period and the fact that it's been holding it so many times. You'd hate to try to catch it on a day like today and then just sort of get run over. Robinhood not really moving off that top. It goes in the money 5 to 10 cents and then comes right back. We'll go to Sector Watch with Brendan, a mixed board, which you get a lot of that on Fed Day.
Hey guys, yeah, I get a lot of that in earnings season as well. You'll see a lot of the names that are standing out on the board once again today, names that reported. Akamai here, AKAM, 5% to the upside on a blowout report for them. Right above that, Paycom, 6% to the downside. They missed, so kind of offsetting each other. Overall, the tech sector in negative territory so far, as are industrials. DE with a big move today. Deere down 5%. GNRC, EMR, PWRTT, about 2 to 5%, all in negative territory. Here's the airlines, tough to see, but some of the travel names are popping up a little bit strong today. So AAL leading 2.7 to the upside. EXPD here as well, about 2.3. There's LOVE, Dow, FedEx as well, back to the upside. That's ATVI, if you're wondering. Activision down 14.3%, huge mover. FMC over here in the materials group, another earnings name. Consumer discretionary stocks helping to limit what this number is showing right now. 0.08 to the downside for the overall market, a lot because consumer discretionary stocks are very strong. Healthcare, on the other hand, very, very weak right across the board. There are a few here positive, but CVS, one of those they reported this morning, 4.4% to the upside, but everything else very red. So yeah, as we said, all about the Fed, guys. 0.08 in negative territory. Back over to you.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, healthcare stocks have been doing so well, so they pull back a little bit on Fed day. Relative strength, maybe everyone's a little bit tepid because relative strength in consumer discretionary is when you're going to start tapering. I can buy that as making a little bit of sense. I can also buy that, whoops, why does it not, I have to hit it twice on my quote board. It's so weird. It always makes sense to me when Sava has pullbacks like this. So you might have missed a chance at, well, whatever. I might have missed a chance at 63. Look where it turns. It turns right to 55 even. So the first stop in resistance has turned now into support. This breaks and you could be floodgates all over again. I think it's a short off of lower highs on Sava and it could be a short on a 55 even break, but it's got to break that 55 first.
So, I mean, it's raining down right now on Macy's, and thank you to Lauren, I think it was, there who said if Macy's was at VWAP. And you know what? I was waiting for 45, so I did cost myself a little bit there by getting of a third at 70, but it did hit that level, and I did notice that, so now it's coming right back in. Man, this is a $1 win here on Macy's and still making that money. And remember, man, I'll do something, I'll do a little bit of a belly dance because Fisker's right back at its highs. But remember when it was back down here, I said that this was going to be possibly a good reload spot right there for Fisker. But unfortunately, we don't do it. And look what happens to Fisker right now, going up, up, and away, giving me an opportunity to get out of this name, hopefully soon enough at $20. But a nice little win there for Fisker. AMC, by the way, before I throw to Brendan, just hit that 50 level. So we're out of that last move right there. So now we'll wait to see what AMC does here. But possibly I'll probably try, not probably, I will put a bid here around 20, see if we can pick some up, make a little bit of this money back to the upside. But I just didn't want to hold this. It's very, very negative downside right now on AMC, but that might have just been sort of the tick bottom there at 41.40. We got out at 50, but there it goes right back up to 75. So a little too conservative there on this name, but hey, man, we're making some lot of money. Well, look at this, man. Fisker's still going, Macy's still going. Good day here. What up, Bren?
Just saw Peloton, guys, popping up. A little bit of volume came in, trying to bounce around 90 right now. It did have a run up to 91.5 this morning. I feel like this must have been pre-market, but Wedbush cutting their Peloton price target because of a less than stellar tread launch. Remember, there was safety concerns. They had to revamp it a little bit and then send it back out into the market. But Peloton right back to basically where it started today.
Yeah, so I mean, not much to see. In Peloton, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's one of those stay-at-home plays that they had all kinds of other concerns, of course, with those lawsuits, and it was tragic what absolutely happened. And maybe the fad is they need something new. I think that's going to be the case there for them. I know they're launching into the apparel, and it's a big deal for them, but we'll see how that one plays out. This PTPI, this was, I think, Brendan brought it, the him and hers collab. This is holding up pretty nicely. So I'm looking across the board. It stocks, like Robinhood's trying to break back out, so it's trying to get to that 37 mark. I could have scalped some out, but I wanted to see that retest up to 37, not the current high of the day. But I can't find too much of anything else that's strong in trying to head back to those highs. Although in this particular case, PTPI, it is a little bit sluggish as it heads toward that high of the day. So it does leave, and it's 350, by the way, so a nice little round number for you. So if it does get up here without increasing volume, that's going to be a potential rollover for you. It's good news for them, and that's fantastic, but at the end of the day, you're not screaming up. You're really starting to slow down. On a Fed day, things can tend to calm down. And if the longer it doesn't go, the more people are apt to start taking profit in something like this. When you're at levels like you see here, where there's huge clusters of resistance, and that's 3 to 350 range, which is exactly the top that it's already put in. So it kind of turns where you expected it to. So a lower high would make some sense to me. As I said on Hood, we'd wait for it. There we go. We'd wait for it to try to make a real push to 37. That's 36.93. So that's going to be close enough for me. I'll see if I can't pick up some more shares here. And if it breaks 37, it's an easy out, right? Like I know exactly where my out is going to be. I never, in that situation, like I don't like long breaks. I don't care if it's a double or a triple top. It's like 36.83 or 36.87 or whatever it might be. You kind of want that round number. You feel like you're going to run into resistance where anyone long on a 35.87 break is taking profit in front of 37. People that are buying the dip in front of 36, a lot of them are taking profit in front of 37. So I prefer stops at levels like that as opposed to these random prices. That's just what I found works. It doesn't mean it's like the only way you can do things. Certainly, random levels do come up from time to time. So I'm not saying like it can't have a double top and break out from 83. It's just not the way I like to trade.
Yeah, we're going to put another bid here on Macy's, hopefully get a 50 bid, as it looks like it's just kind of stopping here. I mean, like, why would I not take, there you go, just took it. I was going to say, why would I not, I'm going to cancel this now so we can have some more downside here, but why would I not take 50 if the bottom is 43? So we'll take that out a little bit there on 50, and this is just how we work, man. We're looking for some key levels and trying to make some plays on said levels and just see where we go. So right now, Macy's out, nice trade there. Hopefully we can cash in at some point on this to the upside. If Macy's goes back, then we don't mind shorting again near that 31 level. But as you've seen, some of these names have come back down now. So some of these high-flying names that we were like once, you know, loving to this morning, like an AMC. I mean, Fisker's still moving, so we're still in love with that name. But, you know, some of those other names, AMC or GameStop there, Bed Bath & Beyond making some moves as well right now. We can check back on that one. This has been a big misstep for me today on that. We just tried to go long, but thank God we got it out of the way. Really, the mistake was the second time. Like, you know, if we just leave it at 24, then we're fine. I mean, we're still fine, believe me. But, you know, that was really the mistake, in my opinion anyways, was getting back in there and then having to take that last dollar hit or so on the I mean, again, this is the real position and that's the real out. Then we took a flyer there hoping that we could get some love to the backside. That never happened. And now Bed Bath & Beyond still trying to make new lows there. So we'll see here, 41.64. So AMC still bouncing around. I'm looking for a bid near 41.20 or change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here like I'm just like complaining in the chat at Sundial. Every time I get into this stock lately, it's like it's either like fantastic right away or does absolutely nothing. Today you're getting a little bit of the latter. So I got like a tenth of it out for like a small win, and now it's just like I said, doing absolutely nothing. Robinhood makes the break at 37 even, so that's me getting out. You actually see me in the long position. Well, it's not showing the longs. When it flips from the P&L board, it'll actually show you that I flipped into a long on the 37 break. And in that case, like I said, you could be right taking that 83 long, and now you got 15 pennies in the money. I'm going to go with the even dollar and then start thinking about those quarters along the lines. And just keep in mind, if you're in, for those of you that maybe you're swinging or maybe like I was in Coinbase, you're holding one of these things all the way back in. When you catch bounces like this, a lot of times, if it can end up holding the bid at that previous range, which is a little bit closer to the 36 and 36 and a half on the daily, like if it can hold a bid, you might get that breakout. In this particular case, you're talking about 10%. Up until like the 50 period, and where you have a cluster of support that might turn into resistance. So there's still some room to go on this thing, even though it's up 5%. I don't think it necessarily happens today, but certainly in the cards potentially for Robinhood. I'm not a big Robinhood a fan necessarily for an investment, but it's not a horrible look that on what everybody thought was terrible earnings, it doesn't break that low, that all-time low, catches a bid and is now breaking out off of that level. Time for a little money talks. Let's see what's going on in the world of currencies and crypto.
Hey guys, yeah, Fed day. So until then, not a lot. You'll see a lot of basically flat numbers right across the board here. British pound making some moves to the upside. Turkish lira higher. New Zealand, Australia as well in positive territory. But again, everyone waiting for the Fed. You can see the DXY here, absolutely flat ahead of the Fed. So we'll see what happens at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Wanted to mention this, Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of just floating around. Tight range, that's Bitcoin on a daily time frame. So in this consolidation still above 60,000 there, support for Bitcoin. But what happens with these today when we get this interest rate, guys? Interesting idea for Bitcoin. Predictions, possibly, Bitcoin after the Fed?
Well, I mean, is the Fed going to come out with like some kind of a surprise? Like, are they gonna walk back their transitory talk? Like, if they walk back their transitory talk and we don't get a pop in Bitcoin, then that's not a good thing. Because one of the things that I absolutely loved about what happened in the last run up was when you had more inflation fears, and well, I guess I could show you guys a chart or something, so you're not just looking at something completely irrelevant
Basic,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll do this very quickly, just so it actually makes some sense. I'll just pop a Binance chart up, and then we can look at Bitcoin, and then I'll make a little. This is what happens to Binance. It just freezes on me, so forget about that. Thank you, Binance, for freezing on me. I'll put the futures up. But what I'm trying to get at is the last time we had that big bounce in crypto, you were doing it while inflation fears were going on. And one of the things that people talk about, store of value, hedge against the printing of money, all that kind of stuff, the relationship wasn't always there with Bitcoin. Like, you would actually see inflation fears rise, and then you wouldn't have, like the next day, like, Bitcoin's doing absolutely nothing. Sometimes it would actually fall with the market, and then you got that divergence finally. So if you get any walk back on this, which I don't expect to happen, I don't think they're going to change their stance on calling this, sort of temporary or transitory inflation. But if they do, and that's what comes out today, or any language in that favor, I would like to see Bitcoin trade higher, and I think it's not a good sign if it doesn't. So, anyways, we're talking about a scenario that I think is like a 1% chance, but hey, I mean, why not? There's always a chance that it happens. In that particular case, I think you get a little bit bullish about Bitcoin. I just think it's ridiculously unlikely that in this current environment, they would walk back their transitory talk. They've been pretty hardline about it, regardless of all the information that's telling you this is lasting a little bit longer than people expected.
Yep. So, I mean, I agree with all of that. I think it's worth watching. Bitcoin will be back at 3 o'clock to talk all about that. So, watch out. We'll be back at 3 o'clock to talk Fed, to talk what happened, look at some banks, some rates, movements, everything. So, I mean, we're super excited to have the Fed come through today and to be back live with you guys. It took a little while, but it didn't take that long, because right now Macy's giving away free hot dogs at your local Macy's store. As just a big move to the downside here. We're $1.40 in the money now, as Macy's just continues to make that money bleed. But it's been such a great time for Macy's owners, shareholders now. So, I mean, we won't knock on the stock. I mean, this has just been bang right up to the upside. But that was a crazy move there. Unfortunate, well, not unfortunate. There's nothing unfortunate about it. But this is a nice move down. We still have a small piece on board, so pretty happy with some of that trading, as you can imagine. And then Fisker, 50 cents in the money as well, just touching 1840. So that's a good little level there for FSR. So we can look at that as a possible concern here. So up to 1840. And again, we talked about rebuying this one. We should have reloaded on that one, but we did not. So if we had done that, we would have been jamming, but we missed that one at 1780, and we'll wait to see for the upside. Only 5 minutes to go. Look, if our board, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what special day it is today.
Oh, goodness.
But it's not a food group, but it's my favorite food group.
How do you know already?
I know what it is because Marissa's planning on doing something for this, so we'll see what it is. But I do see the earnings board is pretty monstrous right now. So let's go over to Brendo.
It seems like it gets more and more every day. Lots of interesting names. Speaking of, Sean, Fisker in the middle there.
Woohoo!
At least the right ones are in the middle.
Like,
the right ones are in the middle.
I'm not the youngest guy, but like, how the heck am I supposed to see all of this here as me and Neil squint to see what's going on here?
There's too many of them.
There's Nikola, obviously. We see that one there. I don't really.
Fastly, Etsy, Moderna, Roku.
I don't know, man.
Skills. It's going to be busy, but.
Is that Ring Central? No, it's not. Oh, there it is. That's better. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, that's a cool.
For zooming in there. Yeah, so, okay, well, Roku. Oh, there's your pen.
You guys can do that?
Pen is in there as well.
De facto pen shareholder by way of the Score acquisition. That's me. So I get to read the report and decide whether I want to actually hold on to it or just stick with Fubo TV and DraftKings, which 99% chance that's what I go with after the report. But we'll see what happens with pen.
Heck. Yeah, Macy's right now, like this is like we're in a carnival right here. This is just Tank City now, $1.70 in the money on Macy's. So yeah, man, I mean, darn it. Thank you, Lauren, for that call out here at 30.60, but now we're $1 lower for that. So let's just keep on going to the downside right now, Macy's. Yeah, maybe we'll get out at 30 if that does come through. Fisker earnings, I actually didn't even know that they were, I mean, we knew that they were reporting soon as it's that time now. You see Nikola in the middle there. So let's watch out for Fisker. I think Fisker winds up saying something very, very positive about their production. They are planning on getting the Ocean. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? So if you believe in them, great. I think you can take a long even right now because I still think this 21 is going to come into play tomorrow, possibly on Fisker. Again, all they have to do, we saw what happened with Lucid when Lucid said that they're on track and even beating their expectations for deliveries. So let's wait to see if Fisker can sort of say the same thing. It may not be true, but all they have to do is say it, and then the stock will pop. So let's see what happens with Fisker today. That may be an optionable name. I mean, I don't know what the IV is on it, but you know, probably huge. Up to $20, $21 on Fisker. That's a name that we like. It's the only two positions we have on board right now. You can see them right there.
Yeah.
Neil has two, I have two, and we're getting ready to wrap it up.
Should have PTPI, by the way. Trade sundial, they said. Cannabis is moving, they said. No, it's not. It's barcode. A lot of times they'll say, there's no way in heck this stock is going to have this range all throughout lunchtime. In this particular case, I think it actually might not move more than a penny throughout lunchtime. But PTPI is moving. There's that break. It actually broke the high of the day. I mean, this was a significant level in the pre-market on the daily chart here. And then watch out for $4. I probably should have that break. Look, I thought I had a stop order in at 350. I obviously did not. It's just gonna be one of those things. It hasn't really given you more than 10 to 15 cents, but a $3 name giving you 10 to 15 cents is pretty good. We're going to Brendan, although I thought we still had national data to come.
Yeah, just quickly, guys, on Hertz. Jeff Mendel was in the house last week. We were talking about Hertz a little bit, coming back to the NASDAQ. November 9th, there it is, the re-IPO of Hertz, guys. November 9th, it would appear for the NASDAQ listing.
Okay, Neil's guessing that it might be pizza, which kind of works because pizza's not a food group. It would be one of my favorites, but that's not what it is. So I mean, I'm just hoping that the same day it is.
Well, it usually is.
We'll wait to see. Whenever we're ready, we can go over to Miss V. Are we ready, guys? Let's go. Miss V, what day is it?
I wanted to guess.
We are ready, and hey guys, thank you very much for spending this morning with us. I hope you're having a great day so far. Thank you for all the kind words on the chat, for super chats, and of course, welcome all the new members. Please double check if you like this video, because your like means so much to us. And me and Prat really waiting for you to join Memes and Movers at 11 a.m. Happy National Sandwich Day, everyone.
Kaboom! There it is. We got it on board. Sandwich day.
I should have. Oh.
Yeah, sandwiches are my favorite food group. I love sandwiches. They're very, very good. Very, very tasty. You could put.
I did it last year. I'm doing it again.
Yeah. So we did. She's making some. I mean, homemade. I mean, we're not. You know, it's Philly cheesesteak. She's gonna make. So the kids love.
That's a legit.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that today. So I mean, it could be Philly cheesesteak day. There probably is one of those. But that's a good sandwich. I like.
That should be every day.
My real favorite sandwich. You know, there's so many, you know, great ones, but I mean, a meatball sub wins the day. If it's
Montreal smoked meat, man. Montreal smoked meat with.
I love that, but I would take a meatball.
Well, Randy's going to be going to Montreal, so shout out to Randy on that.
Need to be made properly.
Shout out to Bryn for ringing the bell.
Yes,
it was bring your kid to work day. If you're in grade 9, that is.
And
but
if
on national
survive all day, maybe she'll do the closing bell. But
on national, she has to do the closing bell.
Yeah.
On National Sandwich Day, I have to drop it because it's a Canadian classic. Sandwiches are beautiful. Sandwiches are fun. I like sandwiches. I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper. I eat them for my lunch. And if I had 100 sandwiches, I'd eat them all at once.
Yep.
That's a little Fred Penner for you. And if you're Canadian and you probably grew up on them, and if you have a kid, you may. Is hot dog a sandwich?
Someone's asking. It's kind of like meat with a bun, but
a hot dog's a hot dog. But technically speaking,
yeah.
it should be a sandwich. But to me, it's a different kind of bread, and a hot dog's a hot dog.
So your favorite sandwich? Your favorite sandwich? Keep it down over there, Pratt.
What do you say?
Your favorite sandwich is Montreal smoked meat. Let's find out what Brendan's is.
I was just sitting here thinking, guys. I mean, I love meatball subs. Like, you can't go wrong with that. But something like a fried fish, something or other. Like, so good, so good. Come on.
fish tacos.
Yeah, like is that a sandwich? I don't know.
Well, how's it when it's National Taco Day?
But a
It's actually
taco's a
coming up. I
taco.
think it's National Nacho
Taco's
Day
a
coming
taco.
up soon as well. But I don't know. Taco's a taco, a hot dog's a hot dog. So I don't know. I don't know how to rank these things. But good show today, guys.
Absolutely. And look, it's going to get even better because guess what? There's a few things moving today. Robinhood breaking out through the highs. Macy's and a host of other names. I mean, I guess not Avis. That's kind of boring today. Go figure.
You know, like a shrimp po' boy and stuff like that.
Don't even. Oh, and speaking of shrimp, by the way, we still have to get Trader Prad to try like oysters and some seafood.
right.
By the way,
That will be happening.
Speaking of. Gotta send you guys over to Trader Pratt and Miss V. We'll be
Lobster
back.
rolls, I mean-
You're making me too hungry, Sean.
I know, this is my favorite day.
We're back for Power Hour. Eat a sandwich for lunch. Trader Pratt and Miss V.
Welcome back to your favorite show, Memes and Movers. I'm your host, Trader Prad. This is the beautiful Miss V over here.
Thank you, Brad. And yes, legendary memes and movers are back. Thank you for joining us today. As usual, guys, please be active on the chat. Ask us anything and don't forget